golfer from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
Jake and James here from Trash Rangers with one question for our Livingston Parish friends.
Why should you switch to Trash Rangers?
We're locally owned.
We send you a text the night before to remind you to put out your trash.
We have over 23,000 satisfied residential customers.
No hidden fees. What's an environmental surcharge anyway?
Don't forget our 5-star reviews and our red cans.
Everybody loves our red cans, so make the switch today.
Go to trashsignup.com. That's trashsignup.com for a company that cares about Livingston as much as you do, because we live here too.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Thursday, July 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 94 in hour one of today's show. We'll talk the latest with LSU baseball and the transfer portal, and we'll hit on some LSU football news as well. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let me go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB here in this Thursday, July 11th. The year just flying by. 2024, 52 days till football season starts. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out with you today. We got the whole crew here. Jake's in a very good mood. Ding dong, the wicked Greg is dead. As Greg Berhalter, no longer going to be the USMNT head coach. We'll get to that more during stoppage time, as just a wonderful semifinal to follow up on a wonderful semifinal over there in the Euros. We have a final set. So we'll get to all this and more. We're going to start talking baseball, like Taylor said. We got college football talk. We got Saints talk coming up. EA Sports releasing some rankings, including their top quarterback rankings. I think they're pretty interesting. We got big deal or no big deal Munchies, Tay-Tay's and Real Story of the Day. It's going to be a great, fun day. So if you're watching online at youtube.com/1045ESPN, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends so we can get more people to come have fun with us. What's going on? How we feeling today?
Just dangling little things in front of you, huh? The college football video game, like.
Well, yeah, this is a
day,
classic
right?
Marketing slow drip ramp up. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the game comes out next week, so it's
when we're in Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know. We're gonna miss the whole early rush of numbers that come from everybody that's gonna be in on the zeitgeist and streaming it and whatnot, but. Whatever is what it is, But what were we talking about?
A video game.
How's everyone feeling? You doing well? Alondra, Taylor, you guys doing well? Yeah.
Yeah, doing all right. Why don't you take your Xbox with you?
I actually think I have to go to Best Buy today and buy one, which I'm not super happy about.
Xbox gang.
But
finally coming over.
I'm thinking about, and guys, I find it shocking that y'all are still trying to keep the console wars alive. I don't know. When I grew up on these console war streets.
That's the thing that
today's
shocks you?
Just a pale
all
imitation.
The things we talk about here, that shocks you?
Yes.
I don't actually care. What
Exactly. Nobody does.
I just like my Xbox, though.
I would think about bringing the Xbox media days, but that would be, I just feel like it's going to be a classic situation where it's like, oh yeah, I'll definitely play this, and then I'm just not going to, because you're going to be constantly talking or interviewing or trying to go meet people. I don't know. It seems like I would bring it, and then it'd be a lot to fly with, and then it would just sit mainly unused.
Didn't you not go out with Jake one night at the Senior Bowl because you played video games instead?
There's some.
Yeah, that's
So,
to your point, I was very into WoW at the time, and I needed a raid.
that is so true. So he's saying, like, this trip, there's going to be more people to hang out with, so he has more options.
Yeah.
So he's not going to bring it, but during the Senior Bowl, he couldn't
Nobody
come out
to
with
hang
me
out with, no.
because he was playing WoW.
That's the thing. He wants to hang out with people. He just doesn't want to hang out with you.
Right.
Feels
mean,
targeted.
I was chasing that purple staff, guys, and that was a hot.
That's
and
true, and you
furious
got
pursuit.
it.
And we were rooting
you
for
got
you.
it.
And I finally got it eventually. Okay, that's a fair point. But that's bringing a laptop versus bringing, a whole,
okay.
a
I
whole
thought
setup.
it was like a thing.
No.
I mean, you're not going to bring it. You're not going to go buy one of these. But one of the things, like when we used to travel, you would see players with like briefcases that were made, for your Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it was. And like there'd be 17, 18 of them on the plane. People bringing these briefcases.
I used to have a sick 360 backpack. It was a backpack that was made specifically to house your 360, keep it safe, perfect pockets for all the cord. I still have it. Actually, it's in my attic. It's a great backpack.
Mac Lindsay says, if you let PB and CD and the other crew know you have an Xbox, with the game in your room, I'm sure everyone will want to have a tournament. Typically, when my hangs with PB and CD, there's other things that they're looking forward to.
I don't know if PB would get down.
PB would, yeah.
I don't know
He's a video
about
gamer.
Chris
for
Jordan's
sure.
too old to play video games, probably. But
Sorry.
Peter, without a doubt, will be on it. I'll think about it. In terms of streaming it from the hotel room, I don't know, right?
That's true.
I don't know if I have all the capabilities to do that yet, but we'll see. I'm gonna go.
I mean, how much are these people who make the consoles excited? Because weren't the three of us talking Monday? Do we all three have to buy a new console for this game?
Yeah.
It's kind of a perfect storm of social dynamics and lack of ownership that has led me here. But yeah, unfortunately, that is the.
I'm doing it just so I can play this game.
Yeah, me too.
I might not.
And I gotta say again, watching all that gameplay footage the other day, I'm not even wholly mad at it because I have not played a football game in years. I don't think I played a football game seriously probably since like Madden 09. And I think the gameplay looks awesome. So I'm excited. I think it looks fast-paced, fun. We'll see. Whatever. Hey, shout out LSU gymnastics. So yesterday, my kids are in LSU tennis camp, which has been great. Great facility they have over there. And their cousins are in town from California. They're huge gymnastics fans, right? So yesterday I took the 4 little girls and baby Bob over to, I felt like you, Jake. They had 5 in tow.
Yeah.
5, 6 or under in tow. And we went over to the LSU gymnastics practice. The majority of the team was at the ESPYs, but Aaliyah Finnegan was in there practicing, getting ready. She flies out for Paris on Friday.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, remember she made the Filipino Olympic team. She was so kind, as was Coach Jay Clark here. Griffith. Ashley Natt was basically, I basically had LSU legend Ashley Knapp babysitting my kids as they were acting a fool, jumping all around the trampoline. So huge shout out to LSU Gymnastics. But you've heard my theory on trampoline parks before, right? About the foam pit and how there's nothing that makes a person look or will make you feel more unathletic than trying to climb out of a foam pit.
Yeah.
So they have this foam pit where each little cube is covered in this soft, it's not velvet, but it's smooth and slick like velvet almost, right? This soft material. And Ashley was telling me, like, yeah, the girls hate it. Like, you just slide all. I'm like, I don't know, why, whatever. So my daughter Alice, she's like, I'm stuck. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come get you. I jumped in, bruh, stuck, and I mean stuck to the point where like could not get out, could not. Under my own free. If I had maybe had time and gone very, very slowly, I could have done like a quicksand thing where I moved the leg a little bit and like the pressure would replace it under. I could actually had to get out a stick like I was stuck in quicksand and help pull me to the edge, which the physics of that, I mean, I probably weighed triple the amount of her. That was hard to do and embarrassing. Then I had to like muscle pull my way up out of there. I've never been so kind of freaked out and how powerless I immediately became. Just stuck as an adult, could not get out.
That's one of the more embarrassing stories I've ever heard.
Oh my God, I had to literally get fished out by an LSU legend.
Like an LSU couple-time All-American.
Yeah.
Is having you go to save somebody, you can't, so she's got to save you. She's got to go get the kiddie pole.
She literally had to go get the pole, which, I mean, look, these gymnasts are about half the height of me. I imagine they probably just disappear. Like if they fall in there wrong, they're just down there forever.
Ready to go, like a rescue team.
Like just multiple
bring in the divers.
There's bodies. There's just multiple gymnast bodies buried at the bottom of the LSU foam pit. I got to say that was my first time ever in that standalone gymnastics building, and that building's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
I think it was built in 2016, and it feels brand new still. Dee Bro definitely doing a great job getting that building made, and obviously Jay Clark now continuing to bring LSU forward too.
Did you get on the beam or anything?
No, but it is funny because my kids immediately, because it's kind of empty because everybody's at the ESPYs, my kids immediately just treated the entire place like it was a trampoline park. And it kind of is. Like it is. I would love to go to a lock-in at the LSU gymnastics building. Alondra, you just got to go to a jump lock-in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could have a ton of fun at the LSU. It's also crazy. I've never watched gymnasts practice, right? You only see them on meet day where basically everything's perfect. These girls are just taking crazy falls. And like it's nothing. Just, I'm talking from like 10, 12 feet straight to the back, straight to the stomach, and just kind of giggling and laughing it off and then getting up and doing it again. It is wild the amount of courage that it takes, I think, to go and learn that sport. So shout out LSU Gym. That was a lot of fun yesterday. I'm sorry that I embarrassed myself by getting stuck in the foam pit.
It's got to be super vulnerable.
It was. It's very emasculating, vulnerable, embarrassing.
Yeah.
You didn't tell
Upper
him
body
you were...
could move, lower body
like
couldn't.
a little roach or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like one of those dumb little flies that get stuck in like a sticky fly trap. Had Ashley not been there, I would have starved to death.
You didn't tell him you were with us, right?
What?
You didn't tell him you were with us, right?
Relax. They're fully aware who I'm with. All right. Let's do this. Coming up next, let's get into some massive LSU baseball transfer portal news. Coach Jay Johnson refusing to sit idly by this offseason. Coming up next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Community Steel Company, communitysteelco.com. If you need steel, well, they're right there in Gonzales, Louisiana. And they're expanding constantly. They've got a beautiful facility, beautiful grounds that you can go check out. Like if you, let's say you have an RV or something, right? You want a little steel building, a little overhang for it. You can go walk through the steel buildings that are available already up, almost like a model home. You can also see all the purlin, tube, and roof and sheet metal. Anything that you need, steel, accessories, anything, it's all there at Community Steel. It's at the best price with a live and local sales team. So support local business. Take advantage of the best deal. Go to Community Steel Co., communitysteelco.com.
And they're already open. Been open for 12 minutes now. And they're there for you. Like T-Bob said, go to see them in Gonzales, Louisiana. Go to the website, communitysteelco.com. Top right corner of the site. Click on it. Shows you exactly where they're located. But if you can't get there today, that is okay. Give them a call, 225-647-2020.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Rouse's. Jay Johnson tweeted a tiger emoji when I was on the air on Wednesday, and we didn't find out who it was. So maybe we will for Thursday's show. Luke Johnson talking about the Saints as well. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. I hope you're having a great Thursday. We making it towards the weekend, guys. And, Coach Jay Johnson giving you things to celebrate the last couple of days. So we did not yesterday talk about Daniel Dickinson joining from Utah Valley. This is a guy that can basically play anywhere in the infield, might be that answer at third base. He's currently playing on the U.S. Collegiate National Team, and his stats from his time at Utah Valley, very impressive. This last season at .367 with 18 home runs, 53 ribbies, 32 stolen bases. OPS is on base plus slugging, right? 1.1 through 1,131 OPS. How about this? I love this stat. Had 34 walks to only 28 Ks on the entire year. So when you talk about approach, just success, he's got power, he's got speed. Dickinson looks like he has it all. And it's not fluky. As a freshman, he hit .376 with 9 home runs. So this was basically a great step up. So Dickinson, big pickup. And then yesterday, LSU adding yet another arm from the transfer portal. This one also on the U.S. Collegiate National Team, to give you an idea of the talent that you're accruing and that you're going after. And that is UC San Diego pitcher Anthony Is it Ayenson?
I've been saying Ayenson. I have no idea, though.
It's Eyanson, okay? Anthony Ayenson, though, 82 innings pitched, 85 Ks, 24 walks, 3.07 ERA, 6-2 record. Thought to be one of the top arms in the portal. As I said, Jay Johnson refusing to sit idly by this offseason. He sees the threat that Tennessee poses long-term, that Now you got Snakel at Texas and A&M. All their players are returning like that. They should be fine as well, right? This conference, which is one dropped ball away from 7 national champions in a row with 7 different schools. If you are not constantly grinding to get better and try to accrue as much talent as possible, you will get left behind. And Jay Johnson knows that. And, he continues to grind and accrue.
How many stolen bases did you say he had?
From what I read, 32.
You know how many LSU had as a team last year?
10.
38.
Okay.
It felt like 10.
It felt like 10.
Like, when's the last time? Now, you've had guys that are
saw
fast.
Stephen Milam steal a base one time.
Yeah, one time. You've had guys that are fast. He stole 7. 7 out of 9.
Milam did?
Yeah. 9 attempts, 7.
There you go.
You've had the speed, but you haven't used the speed. It hasn't been something that LSU's done. I can't remember the last time that they had somebody that you were like, that guy's a threat to go every single time he gets on base. That's maybe not a portion of what they want to get done. As far as we've seen some other teams in Kentucky and others, like they're always going to be on the move.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to be able to go out there and steal more than 38 bags.
I wonder, is that with LSU really not emphasizing advancing runners in that way this last season, is that philosophical? And is that just kind of what Jay John, he doesn't want to risk those outs. He'd rather put it in the hands of the man at the plate, or is that just a function of they just didn't have the speed?
I mean, they have the speed. I mean, Jake Brown is somebody that in recruiting, was said to have like close to elite speed, if not elite. You mentioned Milam, like that's something that we talked about with him. Paxton Clinton didn't get on base a lot, but when he did, that's somebody that has elite speed. So they've had some candidates to be able to go out there and swipe bags, just haven't done it.
So we'll see if that changes. You know what this stat line honestly reminds me of? Even though this is a very high bar to hold this due to, it reminds me of Honeycutt from North Carolina. Very similar numbers from an average, the power and speed combination that you don't really see normally. Now, I don't know if he has the glove like Honeycutt does, as he was probably the best defender in the entire country as well. But Dickinson, you get better with these 2 additions. And now you've added 12 players in total from the portal. Again, not sitting idly by. Ianton's the 7th righty added to the mix. You have 4 right-handed pitchers potentially coming in the signing class as well. Dickinson's the 5th positional player added. The bottom line is when it comes to this pitching staff, remember, which we thought was going to be so stacked this last year, and it never quite came to fruition. It looks like Jay Johnson's saying, look, I'm going to throw everything at the wall, and something's going to stick here. We are going to end up with enough arms where we will have the answers that we need down the stretch, which, to be fair, they found their way to this last season. Maybe not national championship good, obviously, or Omaha good, but, I mean, Gage jump on the mound 2 outs away. You did it. You were right there on the edge, but Jay trying to get that staff back to dominant form of, even a couple of years ago, they had to find a bit later.
Can you imagine going from UC San Diego and then, what April and May is going to feel like in the box?
No, I can't actually, because I can't imagine what it feels like to live in San Diego, where the weather's just perfect every day, and yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe their campus is right on the coast too. Right by the water.
Yeah, that's going to be that is going to be quite the cultural shock in more ways than one. Not just social and mental, but the physical hellscape that will be when you start to feel it heat up.
So do we have an update maybe on some of the MLB draft guys? I know Bear's gone.
Is that the latest on Bear? I've dipped my toes in, but every time I do, I get quickly overwhelmed by he's ranked here and he's ranked here, and I'm like, why don't we just wait for the draft and we'll use the benefit of hindsight to make these calls? Taylor, it seems like you have an opinion.
So yesterday when I was doing AFR, Matt had Joe Doyle on, who does like a lot of MLB scouting and stuff.
Yep.
He said he thinks Bear Jones is coming back.
Oh, okay. What?
That's what he said yesterday.
Yeah, that Griffin Herring's gone.
Yeah, because Matt was like, people here thought it was reversed, and he said he thinks it's 60-40 Bear Jones coming back.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, 60-40 changes.
Better than a coin flip.
That's a coin flip.
Hey, Griffin, come on, man.
Wait, so what? Who do y'all think would be? Who's more important to the team to come back? Griffin or Bear?
I think Bear at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you've
Griffin
added
Herring
a lot of good pitching.
Was incredible. 1.79 ERA last year.
Yeah. Wait,
That
hold
was
on.
kind of also Joe's point.
Let's not get too flippant about being like, we can lose the guy who had the best ERA in the SEC.
No, I don't think you were flippant about it. I think that's just like the bat. Like, we need that bat more than we need the pitcher because, like Taylor said, we've added a bunch. And that's what Joe was saying yesterday. He was saying that, like, his stock in the draft went up, and, like, here we've added a bunch of people. So it's kind of gone down here. Not down, but, like, it's just.
Are you talking about, like, potential starter?
Yeah.
Spot situation?
Yeah.
Did y'all both have to do AFR
added
yesterday?
a lot of power.
She was on
I was in
location.
Lafayette.
I ran video.
Hey, Matt, chill out, bro.
You've
We're
added a lot of.
we're actually both doing it today.
Chill out. Trying to take our team.
But no, think about it. This is why Bear Jones is more important. You're losing Tommy White.
Producers, aren't you?
You're losing Tommy White. Like, you don't really have a guaranteed power bat in that lineup coming back. I mean, somebody will emerge, but if you get Jared Jones back.
All 5 positional players that you've signed, though, are thought to have some pop.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Not
Somebody
the
will
ultimate pop,
emerge, but like a
they're
known
all thought to have
commodity
some
in your
pop.
lineup, you don't have it.
Yeah, because
like that guy Luis Hernandez.
Yeah.
Is supposed to be a really good.
Yeah, I mean Dickinson's numbers again. Those power numbers are great, right? Okay. I see.
Coming, going to a different conference though. Like we talk about in the portal
exactly.
all the time.
You never know how these smaller school guys are going to adjust.
They were great.
Yeah,
but now you got to go through the grind and the suck of the SEC every single weekend.
I mean, look at Bear Jones as an example for this, right? As a freshman, out of conference dominant. Once he got to conference play, took him a while to find his way. Now he did, and then last year he just took a step forward in every metric. So yeah, it is tough. I can see what y'all are saying. The value of a known bat in the SEC, right? And when you look at the trajectory of Bear, where he would project to be next year, as crazy as it sounds to me, maybe that is more valuable to LSU than the top ERA arm in the SEC, which is also wild. I mean, that's the thing, though. Yes, you got a lot of pitching coming in, but that also applies there, right? Like, we don't know how this pitching is going to translate to the SEC either. And Griffin Herring, if he was on this staff, I don't care who the transfers are, he would still be in line to start.
Yeah, that's also fair.
Chase Shores, yes. Griffin Herring, yes, right? And then after that, we kind of, or that's what you would think it would end up being. All right, well, we'll see. Draft next week?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of things that have to be figured out with this roster. I mean, fall ball hadn't obviously even started, but you've added a lot, and you're going to see what you lose. Although Jay probably has a pretty decent idea already of who he's going to lose, even if it's not public, and maybe some of these moves will kind of tell the story.
So we'll see, but again, the bottom line in Dickinson and Ides hit a couple really nice pickups for LSU baseball as the roster is improving. Can't wait to. It's so wild though, the amount of new faces it feels like on a year-to-year basis now, and really all college sports, but baseball is so kind of individually highlighted that I who knows what, like you said, Jake, who knows what shape this will take by the time the offseason's all said and done. Who knows who we'll fall in love with, right? I would have never expected to feel the depth of emotion for Stephen Milam that I now feel after that incredible postseason run that he went on. So will it be Dickinson? Will it be Luis? Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, that's a lot of people to add to your roster.
Yeah.
And there's going to be some people that we thought, maybe that were on the roster last year. Maybe they're going to step up. Maybe it's going to be their time. That maybe Jay and his staff saw that there's not going to be a time for them. You know what I mean? Like, He saw what they had last year, and he feels like he needs to bring, more competition or somebody different in. So the roster is going to look completely different than we even thought probably 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, 12 players added.
Yeah, and it's we're not talking football here. We're talking baseball, much smaller roster.
Yeah, I'm just saying, how many people are on a postseason roster for baseball? Do y'all know off the top of your heads? High 20s?
I think, yeah.
Right? So you're basically looking at like a 33% roster overhaul. That's pretty wild. All right. Real quick on LSU baseball. We now know they're going to be back in the 9th edition of the Frisco Baseball Classic in 2025. A little news blurb here. It's going to be LSU, Kansas State, Nebraska, Sam Houston State. Very solid group of teams, right? Kansas State winning their regional. Obviously, Nebraska and LSU losing out in the losing out in the regional round. One thing I love is that, as always, it's going to be week 3. And with so much new, this is going to be like your first opportunity to really watch the new guys and see who starts to emerge. And will someone assert themselves as the Friday, Saturday, Sunday night guys? We'll see. It'll be a lot of fun, though. When we get back here on OTB, LSU football in the news, as Greg McElroy was talking about, teams that could make a lot of noise, maybe surprise some people in the SEC. And the question that I want to kind of explore a bit is, does anybody outside the top 10 have a better chance of climbing into it than does LSU? We'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coleman Roof. ColemanRoof.com is the website for Louisiana's most reliable, most respected, and most complete roofing company. The culture at Coleman is one of just constant grinding for the customer, doing every single thing within their power to make sure that your job is done efficiently, correctly, the cleanup, everything, okay? They leave no stone unturned when it comes to getting it right. And it's any size job, commercial, residential. It's anywhere in the state. It's anywhere in the Gulf South region. And it's the construction portion as well, as I've been talking about. You get water damage, tree falls in your home, anything like that, any interior damage, well, they fix that and they fix the roof, okay? Coleman Roof and Construction, go to ColemanRoof.com.
And then when you go there, look in the top right corner. It's going to show you the contact information for Gonzales, Baton Rouge, Mandeville, Houma, Lafayette, throughout the state of Louisiana. Contact them today. Go to the website, ColemanRoof.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, the latest LSU baseball transfer portal news, and Matt Borman from the Tiger Athletic Foundation talking a little LSU NIL. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Y'all, welcome back to OTB. So, Greg McElroy was talking about SEC teams that could create a lot of problems for opponents in 2024. A relatively unexciting setup. Where Greg revealed his top 25. He had LSU at 15, and he was like, 15's probably too low, though, right? Talking about the potential ceiling of LSU. Now, that's where I think my brain started to become a bit interested, Jake, is if you look at any preseason rankings, LSU's going to be around probably like 12 to 18, 13 to 15. Like that's firmly going to be there inside the top 20, outside the top 10. That's going to be LSU preseason. So I want to ask the question, if you look outside the top 10, does LSU have more potential in terms of ceiling and the ability to move in and maybe threat a championship? Do they have the most potential out of that grouping? And other teams that would be in this mix, Florida State, Penn State, NC State, Tennessee, Clemson, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Arizona. That's just going off of one rankings at ESPN's. But you understand the grouping there. The thing about LSU to me is, and we've talked about this for a couple of months, right? Is that, yes, there are question marks everywhere in terms of maybe some unproven positions. But like outside of interior defensive line, I actually like a lot of the bodies, right? I think you're going to have good answers to that question. What does concern me, though, is just from a probability standpoint, if you're relatively unproven at, let's say, edge, corner, safety, running back, wide receiver, tight end, can all of those be answered positively? Or like surely some of them won't go as well as we think, or maybe they all do, and then you do rock it up and you end up, and you can throw quarterback in there as well, even though we really like what we've seen from Garrett Nussmeier in an admittedly small sample size, but if all those go well, then great. Then yes, I think you end up at the top 10, you make the playoff. I just wonder if how likely it is that all those questions are answered positively.
Maybe not all of them. Maybe not all of those questions get answered, but you're going to have some of those that certainly surprise you. I think we talked about the safety group yesterday. Like, that's a group that initial thoughts like, I mean, you might have some issues there, but as you lay out who's actually there and who you have through the portal, through returning starter, through a freshman, a young guy that you feel really good about, that's a potential group that actually could go the complete opposite way of what we're thinking.
Yeah.
And so you'll have some of that. And, concerns on the defensive front, those are still there. But I think for LSU, and I think what McElroy is trying to say is, some of those groups are going to probably play above what our expectation is. I think we got so burned last year defensively that we're like, can't play, can't do it. Like this
Yeah,
guy can't play, that
that's
guy
true.
can't play.
It's true.
When a lot of it, as we've heard from multiple people, not just people inside the program, outside the program as well, that there was a giant disconnect in philosophy and how it got to the players, and the players taking it from the meeting rooms, practice field to the game field. So I think some of that will improve inherently, but here locally, and we cover LSU every day, we're like, man, we've been burned too many times by that.
Yeah.
Where somebody on the outside is probably looking at it and saying, look, LSU can't be that bad at corner. They can't be that bad at linebacker or whatever position on the defensive side it might be.
It's a very good point, right? Maybe because we watched this team so closely and saw the failures so spectacularly and intimately that our perspective could almost be a bit skewed overly negative, where others can look at it and say, no, those players are better than what they looked like last year. It was, I would say the majority of the fault lies in the coaching. We'll see. I continue to be kind of tickled at the parallels between the Saints offense and the LSU defense, as in both cases, you're kind of hoping that these coaching changes show you that, no, the team was not as bad as they looked. It was mainly due to outdated philosophy and, or like you said, a disconnect.
I mean, you feel so strongly about it, you put your nuts on the line.
Yeah. Which, again, I think I just get off to at this point. But and it was a little, probably a little too bold. But we'll see. We're going to talk Saints weapons coming up as Bill Barnwell ranked all the teams. And I think the Saints ended up at 25 out of 32, which, I mean, when you think about the Saints, like which of the Saints weapons feels menacing? Does anybody feel threatening? The way that,
no,
like Reggie Bush and Jimmy Graham, Mike Thomas, early Alvin Kamara, like they used to strike fear into you. I don't think you have anybody that does that right now.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
You've got Chris Olave's a good football player.
I know it sucks. He's like, all he's done is have like back-to-back 1,000-yard
It's good
seasons.
football. He's a
but
good football
But he doesn't
player,
feel dangerous.
Like he felt more dangerous when you had somebody else on the other side. They're like, okay, that guy's also pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Now that he's the one, you're like, is that going to be enough? And then with AK, it's like, okay, well, I mean, gosh, the last 3-4 years, he's been under 4 yards per carry. Juwan Johnson's like a nice piece at tight end, but it's like
Juwan Johnson's an afterthought. Yeah. We make such a big deal out of Juwan Johnson. Do something. Like, I mean, like,
yes, I like this version of T-Bob.
No,
Tell me
why
more.
do we talk about
yes.
it so much? What has Juwan Johnson
like
ever done that, like, where you're like excited about?
People got excited because they were like, oh, well, he's a receiver and you moved him to tight end, so he's going to be super athletic. But, like, I kind of agree with you. Like,
I guess he had that third down catch when Jameis just threw it up in the end zone when they beat the Packers.
Jameis
2
just
years
threw it
ago. Yeah, remember? What was the post game quote? He's like, I just threw it up and prayed to God that someone was there. Hell yeah!
All right, real quick, rapid fire. I'm going to give you a name. You tell me if they strike fear in you. Okay? A.T. Perry.
No.
Rashid Shaheed.
He's maybe the key to unlocking it all for me. I would say no right now, but if anybody maybe could, he has potential too.
You mentioned Juwan Johnson already.
No.
Jamal Williams.
No.
Kendre Miller.
No.
Bub Means.
No.
Cedric Wilson.
No, that's your wide receiver 3 probably.
Taysom Hill?
Borderline fear striker. Just maybe doesn't. If I'm in the red zone, I'm probably pretty scared of Taysom Hill, to be fair.
They sometimes, and I mean sometimes very lightly, use Taysom in the right way. This is a staff that has had players like this before and put them in a better position. And I'm not just talking about Deebo Samuel, because that's the name everybody wants. Like Kyle Juszczyk at fullback.
Yeah.
Just because you don't have the football doesn't mean that they don't use you in multiple places for multiple things. And Kyle Juszczyk can be a Y, he can be an F, he can be an H, he could do a lot of different things. And they coached him up to do that, to be that player. He didn't start with the 49ers. He got to them after he was with the Ravens.
Oh, I don't think I ever knew that. I always
thought
thought about him just as a career Niner.
So I'm saying, like, they got him, And they made him that because they have a vision. Like, they could do that, not what they do with him, but something similar.
You're hoping
with
to
Taysom
tap
Hill.
into that same creativity.
Yes.
Highlighting, putting your best players in the best positions to succeed. We'll explore the Saints' weapons a bit more next hour as well. But you're kind of, it's. I see where Barnwell is ranking them. I see why. I think the question then becomes, okay, well then how do you take a step forward? And that's what remains to be seen a bit. All right. When we get back here on OTB, we got some stoppage time and who are the top 8 quarterbacks according to EA College Football 25. We'll break it down next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Family's so nice, I joined it twice. Okay, and, if you're looking for a new vehicle or maybe like a used vehicle, right? Well, get a little bit of better price. Toyota certified used vehicles are great. They actually come with warranty coverage. And you choose your level of warranty so you have that peace of mind after you buy. If you need a rent for a summer trip or something, cheaper per day rental price than traditional rental companies. Leasing, look, it's all there. The best selection, the best people. Go see the sales staff. Let them find the answers for you and your family. And as always, you need a service center, body shop. They got you, man. All makes and models welcome at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Go to the website today if you're buying new, if you're leasing, or if you're renting. Everything is available in all 3 of those processes that we tell you about every single day. So if you've got that last-minute summer vacation, go rent a Toyota today at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscone. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Sandy Group, join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch. From the original walk-ons, Burbank at Nicholson, professional sports handicapper Randy McKay is with us, as well as Dwayne Colucci from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What had it? Welcome back, OTB. It's time for some stoppage time.
For Club and Country. And just about 90 seconds. This is stoppage time on Off the Bench.
All right, quickly, let's get the scores out there. Copa America, Colombia takes down Uruguay 1-0, and Colombia played with 10 men, a man down after a red card for the entire second half, but still hold on for victory. Now it sets up an Argentina versus Colombia final in Copa America, a final that a lot of us expected, and so chalk kind of walked there in Copa America. In the Euros, you had England take down Netherlands 2-1. Little controversy in the penalty kick awarded to England and Harry Kane, but England find a second goal in the 90th minute.
Wait, so what was the controversy? Because when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's a.
I think in intent
it's a penalty
was kind of for them awarding the penalty, and the Dutch aren't happy. They're not very happy. Their coach, their manager said that VAR is running ruining football. There's a lot of people that kind of believe that, but a lot of them are from the older generation of the game.
Now, help me out. Didn't VAR also save the Dutch on that ball that was literally taken off of the line, where we're down to like the millimeter to see that it actually did not fully cross and did not become a goal?
But you know how that is. Like then a manager's like, even that, like that. Back in the day, we'd call that what it was, and we'd put it back in the middle of the field, and we'd play on.
It giveth and it taketh away.
It does. But look, England, Spain, Euro finals. If England wins this, the whole country's going to lose their mind.
I mean, that is just, this Euro tournament has just been like big, sexy brands. It's basically exactly how you would have wanted it, like how the TV companies, the TV execs would have wanted this to play
England,
out.
Netherlands, Spain, all in the semis,
Did y'all see the videos of the Netherlands and English fans, the Dutch fans and English fans getting into it at the bar yesterday?
Yeah.
Full-on chairs and tables being thrown, and I'm just sitting here
The Dutch
laughing.
a little bit more aggressive than the English in that video.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And we always think about the Dutch as being this nice people.
All right. We got to get to the big story. Greg Berhalter, you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Okay, he is no longer the USMNT head coach. USA Soccer actually did something I thought they would not do. They moved on from Berhalter, and now, look, I want and I expect them to make the next hire the one that we all want and expect, but also I know we can't have nice things. So I don't have a lot of high hopes for who they're going to hire as the next manager, but you got a World Cup coming your way in your country in like 700 days.
Yeah.
You need to go get an ass kicker right now. You have another window that's open in qualifying window. I think September is the next time the national team will be back together. You certainly got to have somebody in place by then. Soccer appointments, they take forever. You don't have forever. You need like in the next 3 weeks to hire somebody to be your next manager.
You know what they did? They put a halt to Greg's time as the head coach. Do you think
it better not be a halt? It better be
it's full stop. Yeah, I mean,
indefinitely.
it's full stop. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. What about? So, how are you feeling about Jurgen Klopp? It's funny. I was reading about potential candidates, and they were saying, "No, look, that's probably like a pipe dream, not going to happen." But then one of the top candidate names was Gareth Southgate.
Yeah,
and I'm like, huh? Well, how does that work? Right? I mean, doesn't he have England in the final again?
Yeah.
The second time, like England's actually been, even though the quality of play hasn't always been, the results in these major tournaments has been way better than what we grew up on. Do you think Southgate finally gets it across the finish line? Does he bring it home?
Ooh, gosh. I don't know, man. Spain's
playing in
quality
footy, aren't they?
is just, it's so good.
I still can't stop watching the 16-year-old's goal. To be 16 years old at a time when you are, trying to make out with girls. This dude's out here scoring in the Euro semifinal and like a unreal quality goal.
With his off foot.
Unreal. And my question is, what's it like in the locker room when you have a 16-year-old there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, do you kind of check yourself? Do you not get maybe as crazy as you would normally? Do you tell? I mean, is he drinking in the locker room?
Does he have a separate place to get dressed?
Yeah,
maybe?
that's what I'm saying. Like, do you does he get to go out with the lads to the club?
No.
I mean, I know legally he can't, but
that part of it I didn't even think about because you're a soccer star, but
it's just so outside the realm of anything that we really have in American sports. I mean, I feel like it generally takes to baseball is like trying to become like a Roman senator. You got to be like 30 before you're even considered. Yeah. Football 16, no, impossible. Your body would never be ready.
No.
Basketball, you see it, 18. Maybe you could have some of that in basketball. But the thing about basketball is everybody's kind of around like young 20s to 18, so everybody's still the same age. You probably got some 30.
He's got a 38-year-old teammate, I know, off the top of my head.
This man's 16.
Yeah, I mean, twice his age and then some. Also, real quick, Uruguay-Colombia match, it ended nasty. Uruguay players went into the stands in Charlotte there and went after Colombia fans because apparently they felt like their family members who were also at the game weren't protected by the police there in Charlotte. And so the Colombia fans got a little too close for comfort. And so the players went into the stands and were throwing haymakers.
South America don't play. Tighten up, America, on the security. There it is. Your stoppage time. Coming on next hour of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. Look, man, you need pools, outdoor living areas, fences, bulkheads, pergolas, a fully custom pool, spec pool, whatever, any size or style of fence. You want to get some turf put into your backyard. Maybe you need pool maintenance, okay? Year-round or just a one-time stop to get the pool juice back up for the summer. Look, it's all there at Pinnacle. Again, Pinnacle Exterior, PECbuilt.com. Go to the website, guys, and look at the gallery, and you're going to see the artistry that Pinnacle achieves. It is amazing. It will blow you away. So quality work, efficient work, quick work. You want PEC Built, Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
Yeah, go to PECbuilt.com. Like T-Bob said, a lot of different things that you can do there. One of the things we've been telling you about, artificial turf. Have that putting green, that workout space in your backyard, PECbuilt.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Thursday, July 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 92. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk the latest with the New Orleans Saints, and we'll discuss DeJounte Murray with the New Orleans Pelicans. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Tim and Jacob Taylor hanging out with you. Hour number 2. Apparently, the U.S. Soccer Federation has reached out to Jurgen. Why don't you clop your way over here, Jurgen?
Jurgen Klinsmann?
But yes, knowing them, probably just, sometimes to go forward, you got to go back.
I'd take him back over Greg.
It's funny because
at least we made it to semifinals.
You were wasn't Klinsmann very grindy practices, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super conditioning, very grindy. Well, there's another man known for an insatiable work ethic, unparalleled ambition, genius level organizational skills. The CEO of all CEOs. It's time for the U.S. Soccer Federation to make the call and hire Nick Saban. Nick Saban, if you want to win the World Cup, get Nick Saban as your next head coach. I think he could do it, dude. What do soccer coaches actually do?
You've been watching too much Ted Lasso.
What do soccer coaches actually do, dude? Like you said, Ted Lasso, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't even know how the game's played. And look, they end up being... Actually, I never saw... Did Ted Lasso's team end up winning anything? I never watched the final season.
Never watched the final episode. I'm not sure.
What? Oh, wow. You got all the way there and then you just dismounted before the series finale and you just never... I mean, what is it, 30 minutes, maybe an hour?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's crazy. And you loved that show.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, I did too. I heard the last season kind of took a step back, but still.
So I have no idea. Actually.
Was there a championship on the line? Like, what were they fighting for? Relegation, promotion?
I don't even remember now.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
Sorry, Ted.
How about this?
I would never do that to House of Dragon, though. I wouldn't not watch an episode so you could talk about it in the workplace.
I try, guys. I told you Sunday my wife had to catch up on the previous episode, so I wasted all of my awake time on rewatching that episode with her, and then by the end of it, I was starting to fall asleep, and I was like, I am doomed for this new episode, and sure enough, fell asleep 10 minutes in. And then I tried again the next night, and I just fell asleep. It's not, again, me sleeping, at my age now, I find that me sleeping during something is not a reflection of the content at all. It's just, I'm just getting old and tired. And so sometimes I just enjoy, or not even enjoy, so I just can't help it. So if I go to a movie theater, I have to be very careful about how much I lean my chair back, because there is a certain degree where when I go past it, I'm basically dooming myself to fall asleep.
That is crazy.
And I never, and I used to hate, I was always a super hardcore, never fall asleep in the theater guy.
That's crazy. I told y'all I haven't taken a nap since 2013 training camp.
That's David
actually, Goggins over here.
That's actually crazy. Yes, like you say me fall asleep in theaters is actually very common. Not taking a nap since 2013 is literal psychopath behavior.
Like that's, to me, I'm not a big sleeper. Not
You
a
haven't
huge sleeper.
accidentally fallen asleep?
Yeah, nothing. You haven't tripped and fallen into a nap.
I can see James eyes getting heavy, and he's like, no.
And also,
he clothespins.
Jake's like my 5 or 6 year old that just refuses to nap at all costs.
We have 5 children. There's always something going on. There's not a lot of nap time. It's either like, we're doing something or we're going to sleep.
Yeah, I yesterday
my father, he is he's Marine police. He was big, you can sleep when you're dead energy. And that's how I was raised. And so give me 5 hours, which is what I typically get, and let's go about the day.
Even though, aren't we figuring out now that not sleeping is really killing us?
I'm sure there's a scientist out there, just like there's a scientist that will say these 7 foods are bad for you, and there's another scientist that will say these 7 foods are great for you.
Yeah, you're right.
And when that says,
are you telling me that's not the case?
No.
That happens all the time with food.
You can
and drinks.
You can without a doubt find that is the great irony of our time. In the age of information, everything becomes misinformation because you can find an expert for almost any viewpoint. Yes, I do agree with what you're getting at there. I also probably think, though, that the amount of time we sleep is slowly killing us as well. I could definitely see that.
What do you think's the proper amount?
I think to be healthy, if I could do 6 hours a night, that'd be awesome. But I generally am more around 5, and so we're just walking around in a constantly sleep-deprived state.
What are you, 11 to 5?
Typically. I'm normally it's 4:30, about 11 to 4:30. So I'm right there on the. I guess I'm pushing 6.
Yeah.
But even then, it's what's the quality of the sleep? It goes back and forth. I don't know. I took a good nap yesterday, though. My 2.
I don't know. I feel like the older generation, they didn't get a lot of sleep. Everybody that I know that's our dad's age and older, come hell or high water, doesn't matter. They're getting up before 6.
Yeah, but they're also, but they're not doom scrolling either. They go to bed and they're hitting the sack. They're not getting sucked into the algorithm short form video as it just takes your brain and tickles it just enough so that you keep going. Just the tip. And next thing you know, 30 minutes later, you're thinking, what the hell have I done with my life? Would my time not have been better spent just going to sleep? Did I really need to send my wife that 10th cooking video that I'm never going to follow up on, but I really love the idea of?
But it looks good as hell.
God, it looks so good, though.
So good.
So good. Look at this high-protein fried nuggets. But they're healthier.
Yeah.
Never going to make them.
Yeah.
I should.
God, there's this one peanut butter powder, which I'm a huge fan of, frozen, dipped in dark chocolate,
sounds
healthier, not healthy, but healthier, Reese's, kind of ice cream option for children. I've sent that to Katie 73 times. I'm surprised she's if you send that to me one more time.
Yeah.
One more time.
I've also gotten really into watching videos of these daily stretching routines really helped my knees and back. And I've never done one of them, but I've probably sent my wife about 10 different ones. Only 10 minutes a day. You'll feel great.
That's why I go to Crystal Poche.
Yeah. Shout out Crystal, Restored Motion. Love
Went
her.
to Restored Motion yesterday, and we got that work in. Coach.
It's intense, bro.
And it's
I get like adrenaline when I'm done with her.
It has saved me as you saw me like.
Yeah, you seem like the back's doing well.
Much better.
Hell yeah, dude.
Much better. If you have any issue like that before you just go have surgery, go see Crystal.
Gulf South, for the record, I absolutely hate sleeping. It's a complete waste of life, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That is something that I struggle with as well, is I like to do stuff, and so anytime you're sleeping, you can't do stuff.
When I have family in town, like, and if somebody in the family, because we don't have the opportunity to get together very often. You know, we all live all over the country, but if we do get together and somebody goes to bed early, I'm like, no, come back in here. You come back in here. We're sleeping during quality time here.
I'm going through a bit of that right now.
I know you are. You said you stayed up a little too late a couple nights ago.
Yeah. Family's in town, but it's fun. You know, like you said, you never get to see them. It's summer too, you know. Daniel Blunt, oh dude, I'm a huge fan of the 35+ crowd learning morning stretch routines. I know. I need to buckle down and choose one. I'm like a recruit. I've got a few different Instagram hats laid out in front of me. Which daily stretch routine am I going to go with?
And you won Young Professional of the Year?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
35. That's
Stretch
called
videos.
It's called a buzzer beater. Right here at the end. Call me Rafer Alston.
Oh, nice name drop.
I don't know why. I have one baseline Miami Heat Rafer Alston regular season buzzer beater just seared into my brain.
First buzzer beater that comes to your mind, is that it?
Yeah.
Mine's Robert Horry against the Kings. Big shot Rob. The Kings got robbed. That's the buzzer beater that comes to my mind. In the Western Conference, was it finals or semifinals? Either way, whoever won that was probably going to win the entire thing. Alondra, buzzer beater that comes to your mind?
I don't watch enough basketball to have one that comes straight to my mind.
I'm sure it's like a Spurs.
I would also say AD hit a crazy 3 against the Thunder, I think right before the All-Star break one time to win a big game. I can't remember what was on the line, but I just remember losing my mind at that.
One that comes to my mind's pretty recent. It was when Kawhi was with the Raptors. He was in the right corner. He shot it. That bounced off of every part of the rim and sunk it, and they eliminated the Sixers.
Well,
I think that took them to the finals.
Yeah.
It either took them to the finals or the conference finals.
Took them to the conference finals, and then they end up winning the finals that year. It gave us one of the most legendary sports pictures of all time, where it looks like a Renaissance painting. Everybody's got so much emotion on their face. It's every range of emotion from the crowd to the players, happiness, sadness, fear, excitement.
Jetpack, Bryce Drew, Valpo against Ole Miss. NCAA tournament. That's certainly one. NCAA tournament for me.
The Josh Hart game winner.
That was a great one. God, that was.
I mean, that's a true-ass natty winning buzzer beater.
That's true. Jalen Suggs, Gonzaga against UCLA in the Final Four, half-court buzzer beater to end the game.
I don't remember that one, actually. But I'm not the biggest. You know, I'm not the biggest college basketball guy.
You don't remember? It was 2 steps inside of half court, overtime, I believe. Time running out in the Final Four to go to the Natty.
Damn,
drains it.
God, what a feeling! It's gotta be such
jumps
a good
on the
feeling.
table. I think it was during COVID. Maybe that's why you don't remember it. It was like an empty building, basically.
Gross.
It was at Butler.
Gross.
Their campus. Yeah.
College football, EA Sports College Football 25, right around the corner. They released player ratings yesterday, Jake. No 99s, which I got to say, I really like, okay? Because this should be the first time ever where how these guys play in real life will dictate how their ratings go, right? So I love the idea of starting with no 99s and then seeing who's going to dominate to the way. Like Jaden Daniels would have been a 99 by the end of last season, if you were playing and online and updating the rosters and everything. So I'm excited. He said, I was shocked, though. They kept it pretty real with the quarterbacks. The highest rated quarterback is the 17th overall player, and it's only a 93. Shadur Sanders and Carson Beck both checking in at 93. Quinn Ewers and Dylan Gabriel both at 92. Jalen Milroe, Jackson Dart both at 90. Jalen Daniels, Caden Selter, both at 90 as well. Here's my question
From
on
Liberty?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Play ball.
I mean, Caden's got crazy numbers.
He does.
He's
crazy
got insane
helmet,
numbers.
too. He's got Spaceballs helmet.
Yeah. He's got a little, I I was going to say a little Pat Mahomes, but I need to re-look up a picture, make sure Mahomes' helmet's so funny.
His helmet is kind of big, too. You're right.
Well, it's how he wears it. He wears it like Les Miles used to wear his hats.
Yeah.
Sits very high on the head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a question about Shedeur Sanders. Great volume numbers last year, really hot start, good decision maker. Is he, he's on Get Up right now. Imagine that. Should he be right there with Carson Beck, 93 overall? All mock drafts seem to have him as QB2.
No, there was 3 quarterbacks. I think it's this show we talked about. I don't remember. Either way, Carson Beck graded as the 4th highest quarterback last year, only behind the 3 guys that were in New York.
Yeah.
And Carson Beck's biggest weapon was out most of the year. His second biggest weapon was out for a portion of the year, and he still went out there and did the things that he did. And the thing that makes Carson Beck, and we talked about this yesterday, different than everybody else in the same category, he uses the middle of the football field at an elite level.
Yeah, his
Penix
was
outside the numbers, which was great. Like that's what he did, and that's who he was. But Carson Beck can do that. But in the middle of the football field, where in college football, there's not a lot of action because quarterbacks are terrified of throwing the football is where he actually kind of feasts.
Yeah, and his decision making, his efficiency last year to be his first year starting was pretty mind blowing. And obviously, he's got the raw physical size. So yeah, I mean, again, I think it's so like okay, would you take Shedeur over? Because I would probably take Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders, not from an NFL perspective, maybe.
From college football,
again, I like what does Shedeur do? Like, why is Shedeur so much more of an attractive NFL player than is Dylan Gabriel? I mean, they both got size issues, right?
I think Shedeur's a little bit bigger than Gabriel.
Yeah, he might be. Probably what did Shedeur? Probably
was,
like 6'1". I think Gabriel's probably 5'11".
Gabriel was great in big time games last year, though.
God, I was on the sideline of the Texas-Oklahoma game where he took that thing over.
Yeah, that's cool. That had to be a really cool place to be. Actually, I forgot you were on the sideline for the game. I'm jealous. And then you know how I feel about Quinn Ewers. I understand Quinn Ewers' NFL hype because his body, the touch that he throws with, and everything. But in terms of great college quarterbacks, like I would take Gabriel over him. I could be talked into Jackson Dart over him. I think he has to prove to be a bit more dominant than he was last season. Texas, it's kind of funny, and this is probably why I would feel bullish if I was a Texas fan. Texas very much won as a team last year.
Yeah.
It was not just having like an overwhelming talent at a single position that drove them to the top. It was a very unified effort there.
I don't know where I'd have him. I don't.
Ewers?
No. I'm talking going back to Shedeur. Like I don't know that I would have him that high up. I'd have him in the top 5 maybe, but if he was in there, he'd be at 5.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of quarterbacks, and Dylan Gabriel's a good one to point out by you. I mean, he was really good last year, and nobody really gave him credit for it, it felt like.
No, because Oklahoma blew those games that they shouldn't have blown. Like, Oklahoma should have been Big 12 champs. They should have been in the playoff. Brent Venables should have, I mean, after beating Texas, the world was Brent Venables' oyster. He could have shut the door on any doubt whatsoever, and because they lose those games, him and Gabriel kind of shuttled to the side, although Gabriel landing in an incredible spot, obviously, as we continue to talk about in Oregon.
A quarterback that is probably being talked about as much as any recently is Cam Ward, though, at Miami. Because he's kind of in the same stat category as Dylan Gabriel as far as yards.
Yep.
Cam Ward actually had more, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Also can add, to the rushing total there as well. There's a lot of people that think Cam Ward is going to take another step because, it goes from the FCS to the FBS and then now maybe even another step. And there's a lot of people that are high on Miami. I am not going to get fooled again. And if I'm wrong, I'll raise my hand and say I was wrong.
Yeah. Come on. I don't think anybody can get mad at us for asking Miami to prove it. I mean, literally, isn't that what DJ Pickett's dad said the other day? He was basically like, yeah, we're kind of waiting to see if it's going to be the same old Miami, to be honest.
Yeah.
And, well, apparently they're not waiting, though, because remember, they bumped up that commitment date to July 18th. So really looking like a race between LSU and Oregon. Damn you, Ducks! How about this? Out of all of these quarterbacks, okay, so all the best quarterbacks in this grouping, who has the most room to take a big leap? Because to me, I think that's Jalen Milroe. I think he has the most, from a raw physical skill set standpoint, he's obviously an athletic outlier.
Mm-hmm.
He has such clear areas of the game in which to improve, which is basically like getting the ball out of his hand, precept recognition, throwing the ball over the middle of the field, the kind of the short and intermediate stuff. All of these guys feel a bit more like known quantities, whereas it feels like there's still a lot of room for Jalen Milroe to take some significant steps forward. Now, we all know that the weapons probably aren't there and hold him back. But if he can overcome that, he probably has the most room left to grow.
Yes, because of where he was a year ago, and he just got so much better as the season went along. Yeah. I'm just curious what it's going to look like, because him and Michael Penix do have a different skill set.
Yeah, 100%.
And Kalen DeBoer now has the challenge, without Ryan Grubb, to try to get the most out of that skill set, but also not completely change the DNA of his offense and what he's done, because he's always had, a quarterback that kind of fit what he wanted. Even Jake Haener at Fresno State. Jake Haener has a big arm, and that's, and he was pretty accurate at Fresno State. Can Jalen Milroe be that guy? And also, how much do you do with Jalen Milroe in the run game?
Yeah.
That's not something he's really had. Like Jake Haener, Michael Penix, those guys aren't running.
Did they run? Was it them running Michael Penix at Indiana back in the day?
Yeah.
Because wasn't he
hurt.
kind of viewed as like an option kind of dual threat runners guy?
Yeah, and he stopped running because he got hurt so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he ran a fast 40 at the combine.
But I'm saying
but
he has run maybe that style of offense a bit more in the past. Now, again, what it showed maybe your quarterback gets hurt, so who knows if he wants to do it again. Here's what I would say. How happy do you think Kalen DeBoer is to have that O-line and those running backs? I mean, he had a good O-line last year,
Joe
certainly,
Moore,
but but the size of these lads now.
I mean, he's got one of them that transferred down to Tuscaloosa.
Who, to be fair, is their highest rated, kind of viewed as, the PFF had him as the number one interior offensive lineman in the entire country. Washington center from last year, now replacing the most hated man in Tuscaloosa, the center last year. Anyway, here's the one stat, and we got to go to break. Here's the one stat I would say on Jalen Milroe, Jake, that has to improve. Do you know what his average time to throw was last year? This will blow your mind. 3.46 seconds.
Yeah.
3.5 seconds might as well be 2,000 years in pocket time.
Yeah.
So if he can get that down, and that comes from everything we talk about, pre-snap, get the ball in your hand, middle, then yes, how good he could be crazy. But we'll see. We'll see. That's what Kalen DeBoer is going to try to do.
God, that's
3.46, bro.
Yeah,
that's unreal. It's like, you want to hate on the O-line. I mean, what do you want him to do, dude? He's freaking bacon. He's smoking a brisket back there. Like, come on. All right, we've got very long. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552. For over 50 years, Central Plumbing's been solving all of your plumbing needs. You can't hit them with a problem they don't know how to solve. They got flat rate pricing, so no surprise or hidden fees on the back end. Everybody's licensed, bonded, and insured. They've got excellent warranty work. They got a massive fleet, so they can always be there when you need them. That's what the 24/7 emergency service is about as well. So don't think twice. You got a problem with your pipes, you need it fixed, you need Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org.
Not only in emergencies, like we tell you often, if you're looking to upgrade at your home or business, they can come in, they can do that for you. If you're looking to go tankless with a tankless water heater, never run out of hot water again, they can come in, they can install that for you as well. And I know for me and our crew, having 5 kiddos, we're always at a ball field or somewhere, late at night. You get home, you got to shower, you got to do the dishes, you still got to do the laundry. All that can be done with that tankless water heater. Call them today to set it up at 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $20,000 off new 23 Ram 1500 trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $20,000 off the powerful Ram truck. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept secret.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's. Jay Johnson tweeted a tiger emoji when I was on the air on Wednesday, and we didn't find out who it was. So maybe we will for Thursday's show. Luke Johnson talking about the Saints as well. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. So ESPN's Bill Barnwell ranked all of the NFL teams' offensive playmakers. So think wide receiver, running back, tight end. And where did your New Orleans Saints check in? They checked in at 25. We touched on this first hour, but I want to expound on it here because after I read this, I'm like, okay, let's think about this. What let's just kind of do like a thought exercise here. Think about who the Saints currently have, and then think about whether or not you feel really threatened by that person. Like, does anybody feel dangerous? And then think back to the Saints' golden era, the Breeze Payton highs when they were at their best. Jimmy Graham felt terrifying.
Yeah.
For opponents. He was overwhelming. He was rim rattling, bringing down goalposts. Reggie Bush felt like a lightning bolt. Could shred you at any time. Always, like when he had the ball to him, he felt sharp. There was an edge to him. Alvin Kamara early on, same deal. Dangerous all over the place. How do you cover him? How do you account for him? He's a harbinger for the new age of running backs. Mike Thomas, A bit. It's funny. Mike Thomas, a bit less edge, a bit more like a blunt force tool, but still very effective. Like, wasn't there some old? I think back in medieval times, there was some
Like the
old
restaurant?
rule. No, but hey, don't get me started on medieval times. You don't want to derail this segment that easily.
Down, down, down. Rednecks going down.
I will never go to medieval times and not do a cable guy chant. It is a 1,000% guarantee. If you see me in there, I will be doing the down, down, down chant.
Yes. Sorry.
1,000% of the time. But the point, like, I think like back in medieval times, there was like some weird religious rule where it's like, oh, if you're a priest, you can't use an edged weapon. You have to use like a hammer or like a mace. That was Mike Thomas. Still very dangerous though, right? But just gonna bludgeon you to death
What in the
with
gangs in New
1,000
York?
hits to the head.
Really?
Just bah, bah, bah. Do you have anybody like that now? Who feels dangerous? Do you have a weapon that strikes fear into the heart of your enemies? And you have some okay guy, you got good guy. I don't know that you have any. And maybe that's a function of, like we talked about, Pete Carmichael, the offensive philosophy, Derek Carr. There just doesn't seem to be anybody that's fear striking anymore, though.
No, we went through the list earlier in the show. I think there's good players. There's no doubt there's good players. Chris Olave, I think, is a really good NFL player, but does he strike that fear? If you're corner one on the team that's facing the Saints, are you like, oh man, we got Chris Olave this week?
Yeah, I don't think so, which is crazy because the numbers are good, but it doesn't feel like people feel that way.
I wonder, you mentioned Rashid Shaheed earlier. I wonder if, because of his speed, like how close he is to that. Because if I'm corner two, and I know I'm going against Rashid Shaheed, and he can pick him up and put him down,
you better be ready.
I got to make sure that I am ready to get run by.
Well, okay, so real quick, let's rank the Saints' weapons in and look at who's maybe the key to changing this narrative would be. We would obviously have Olave as weapon one, right?
Yeah.
Is Taysom Hill or Rashid Shaheed weapon two?
Taysom Hill can be weapon two if in this San Francisco 49ers offense they're bringing to New Orleans, I think utilizes him like I think they can, like they have in the past with multiple players with the ball, without the ball. I think he can be that. Are they going to give themselves over to that, though, is going to be the question.
Yeah, and it's tough. How many touches do you give Taysom Hill, right?
If he is who we think he can be, and he's going in the right direction with you struggling to run the football out of just your base formations, and they have over the last 4 years, then you give him 10 touches a game. Because I think he warrants that if you're still struggling to run the football.
A lot of people in chat point out Darren Sproles. Absolutely. That was also someone who in a Saints uniform just felt dangerous, felt terrified.
He felt dangerous in a Kansas State uniform, a Chargers uniform, a Saints uniform, an Eagles uniform.
I mean, yeah, that getting rid of Sproles in pursuit of what's his name? Who's the old safety? Jairus Byrd.
He was
the biggest disaster in the Peyton Breeze Saints.
I didn't play against Byrd when he was with the Saints. I did when he was in Buffalo, and his pass rush move was like, I'm like,
you slow. So I would say Olave, Hill, Shaheed, then Kamara. Then probably like Juwan Johnson, whatever. And ranking them, I think, makes you feel really how bland this kind of group is. But if they're going to change it, I think Shaheed is key number one. Can he be an every down wide receiver too, like they're trying to make him? Because he has the most threatening physical trait in just the raw speed that he has. That's why he was an all-pro returner last year. And then obviously, actually, maybe this is actually key number one, but Alvin Kamara just getting back on track. Can he have a CMCS? Can you get like a 75% of what Christian McCaffrey did in terms of bringing back his career? Can you get 75% of that for Alvin Kamara? If you do, I think you are a markedly better offense as well. You're probably in can AK get back to being in that like top 10, maybe bottom of the top 10, kind of 10 to 15 range of running backs in the NFL?
Yeah, it's going to be a big question. And as we know, that position, you get older, you don't typically get better. You only get worse. Now, he's not taking maybe some of the hits that other running backs have taken, but over the last couple of years, it's been very tough And I can't really even blame Alvin Kamara. There's not, like, if I watch tape of the Saints offensive line and the run game, it's like, where are you supposed to go?
Yeah.
And also, they didn't play to the skill of their running back. Remember, I mean, they're running like straight inside zone and never getting him on the edges, and no stretch leads, no outside zone, not a lot of tosses. Like, there wasn't a lot of creativity. And if you've got a if you've got a Derrick Henry and you want to run power, maybe some counter, inside zone, okay, all right, I can get behind that. He's not going to get to the edge. He's fast, but he's not going to get to the edge. If he does, it's because he stiff-armed 3 people. But for Alvin Kamara, like, you would think outside zone and stretch lead and those type of things would be where he would thrive, and you didn't see any of that.
No.
So, like, for philosophy and because of poor run blocking in front of him, I think that it's not the only reason, but it's a large portion of it.
So again, this is your daily Saints segment where basically we talk about how things aren't that good, but maybe like Clint Kubiak can just make it all work. I mean, I have never had an offseason where there's been so much hope tied into just one coaching change, and not even a head coaching change, just a coordinator change. We'll see. But the Saints' weapons definitely leaving a bit to be desired as of now. All right, when we get back on Off the Bench, DeJounte Murray now on this Pelicans. He had his opening press conference. We didn't get into it yesterday. I meant to, and I think we got distracted. But there's I thought he had some really interesting quotes to kind of pick apart. So we'll get to it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
TrashRangersLLC.com. TrashRangersLLC.com is the place to go to sign up if you want to change trash services and get that red can that everybody in your neighborhood is now getting. And also, we've been telling you, because, that's Livingston and other surrounding parishes, but here in Baton Rouge, if you're looking for a roll-off dumpster, if you've got a project at your house, or maybe it's a bigger project at your business and you need a roll-off dumpster, remember there's 3 different sizes. And so depending on the size of your job, you call them up, let them know what you're looking for. They help you out. They deliver it. It's right there for you. TrashRangersLLC.com.
Yeah, look, Trash Rangers they're local, man. They're reliable. They're efficient. They give a damn about you. If it's for your home trash needs, they text you the night before, they pick it up. The bottom line is, to Trash Rangers, you're not just a number on the ledger sheet, right? And they're not taking the profits out of state while leaving the trash here. It's funneled back into the community. Trash Rangers.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There's nothing chill about a hot, sweaty line. Unless...
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, the latest LSU baseball transfer portal news, and Matt Borman from the Tiger Athletic Foundation talking a little LSU NIL. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So DeJounte Murray had his opening press conference in a New Orleans Pelicans uniform the other day, and it got me pretty excited, man. The confidence that this guy carries himself with is infectious, and it's not hard to see why. Okay, he's coming off of an all-star year. A couple of years ago, he led the NBA in steals. In 2018, he was a second-team All-NBA defensive team member. So this is somebody who, in terms of just like on-the-court skill set, fits in with the Pelicans does, but has a lot of accolades, right? Like he's accomplished a lot in his career. He's 27 years old. He's going into his 9th season in the NBA. That feels like your prime, Jake. That feels like a man who is right there in his physical and mental prime. And when you look at what the Pelicans have missed over the past few years, really, it's been that confident point guard. It's been that point guard who, with the ball in his hand, feels completely comfortable with being that field general, looking at how all the pieces interconnect. How am I going to attack? He's a great clutch player. Rod Walker's right up in the Advocate really gets into this. I think he had 4 game winners for the Hawks last year, but basically they're asked, like, how have you had so much success in these late game situations? And he said, look, I'm built for it. That's all I could say. And when I say built for it, doesn't mean I have to take the shot. I can create for my teammates. Whoever shoots it, I feel like it's going in. So you've really missed that field general, and now you're getting one who's a great defender, an all-star, supremely confident, entering his physical and mental prime, and understands what he is going to be asked to do. And the question becomes, like he says, you're talking about Zion Williamson. He said, that's our superstar. I'm excited to push him to the next level because he has a bunch of levels that he can reach. In an interesting way, though, Zion may be the superstar. Does DeJounte Murray end up being the leader of this team? Because B.I.'s just not like that. Well, he's probably not going to be on the team anyway.
CJ kind of is.
Yeah. But even then, he's a locker room leader. Great player. Don't get me wrong, right? Great player as well. But I feel like it's almost like quarterback, where if you have a great leader at quarterback, that's going to be more effective than being a great leader at wide receiver or tight end. Having a great leader at point guard can just kind of transcend these other positions.
I mean, they have a couple of candidates, and CJ, you're probably right, more locker room than the actual floor. And they're looking for that guy on the floor, and they're looking for that guy to take the last shot, that wants to take the last shot, that is comfortable in that situation. We've talked about that. Yep. Like, it feels like they have guys, and maybe Zion, if he was healthy, is that guy. I know when he went down late in the season, like, he felt like he was trending towards that. But if you need a 3, like, that's not Zion.
No.
Right? So you need a complete player, and he can be that guy for sure. And now, like, we're all waiting on what's the next move as well.
Yeah, you still got to get a starting center, obviously, to make this whole
work. Because as you look at it, I mean, it would be probably the worst center group in the NBA right now.
Yeah, Tyson Messi, rookie and journeyman. Yeah, no. I mean, Tice is great depth, sure. But, I mean, and that's why Ingram's not going to likely be here come
And also, like,
season.
if you kept BI, well, I mean, how many minutes is Trey Murphy really going to get? Does that push Herb out of the starting lineup if you kept, because it'd be Murray, CJ, BI, Zion. Like, that would be the 4 guys.
I mean, the writing's on the wall for Ingram.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he wants to be here in the Pelicans.
Trey Murphy, Herb, Jordan Hawkins, how much do you want to develop him? So it does feel like it's on the wall. Like, what are you seeking? Like, what are you looking to get? Is it we need a big? That's the only place that we're looking. Like, where are they going to go?
I think so. I think that is the final piece of the Pelicans puzzle. Is just a starting center, and if they have that, I actually feel great about this team. I mean, DeJounte Murray said, "Look, quote, they were already a great team. They won 49 games. Going to the playoffs speaks for itself. I'm excited to come and help these guys, and they help me and build something." You know what else I love too? Remember how there was all the drama when the Pelicans get CJ, and was it that like Zion didn't call him back or hadn't reached out? Or maybe CJ had tried to reach out.
CJ tried to reach out. Zion did not respond.
Yes.
And
And
for
so,
like the whole offseason.
Yeah. And so it became a big talking point. It filled a couple of news cycles. Well, who was the only Pelicans player at the DeJounte Murray press conference? Zion Williamson. So, I mean, there's growth. I mean, you could say that's dumb. I think that's literal growth right there. And again, I feel like Murray brings such an alpha attitude with him and so much confidence entering that physical and mental prime that I feel like he is the perfect person to kind of, like he said, push Zion to levels that he has not yet achieved. So I know we talked and like Trae Young was kind of the sexier, more surface level addition that would have been like, ooh, look at this. But after this press conference, I find myself getting very hyped on DeJounte Murray. And I see the fit. The fit is perfect, actually.
I mean, if you're talking defensively,
yeah,
if you get the right center, what you could have.
Oh, if you have a good rim protector with that group out there, bro.
Then we're talking about, something different. And, Trey would be the more exciting because he, shoots logo threes and he would be a great facilitator. But if they continue to build it like it looks like they are, then, you're right. This was the better move.
I mean, they've every year under Willie Green, they've been like last year they finished like a top 6 defense. Like, that the Pelicans are going to try to build their championship team on that side of the ball, and then let Zion just carry the majority of the load for the offense. What does this say? I can't read this comment. All right. When we get back here on OTB, we got Big Deal or No Big Deal coming up to kick off Hour 3. We got Munchies. We got our NFL Story of the Day. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding for, you guessed it, windows, doors, and siding. Hardy plank or vinyl siding, wood or vinyl windows, any type of door. Tommy's is the answer, and he has nearly 30 years of experience in this business, guys. And after 20 years of working for someone else, and you know what, look, man, I know this thing inside out, but honestly, there are things that I would do differently when it comes to my customers and making sure that the job's done correctly. And so he broke off, and he took that dependability, that integrity, that work ethic with him. Remember, a former member of the Golden Band from Tigerland, Jake, you don't make it as a musician unless you're a perfectionist. And that's what Tommy is. And the quality of the work speaks for itself. And in fact, we're so confident in said quality that I'm not even telling you to just outright use them sight unseen. Make them one of the bids. That's all I'm asking you to do. Make Tommy's a bid on your project. Let him prove it to you.
And you can go to the website to see what they can do for you. But like we always encourage you, like T-Bob's talking about, have them come out, tell them what you're looking for, and they can customize whatever your needs are, right? They can be met there with Tommy's. Go Tommy's.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to
Charles Sandigrove, join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch. From the original walk-ons, Burbank at Nicholson, professional sports handicapper Randy McKay is with us, as well as Dwayne Colucci from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Close out hour 2. How about this? The NBA just finalized a $76 billion rights deal. How about that? 11 years, $76 billion. The deal is split between ESPN, NBC, and Amazon. TNT does have the ability to match. And apparently I think Amazon's going to be paying $1.8 billion a year. TNT may match that and then retain the rights. We'll have to see. But pretty massive deal there. But I really just wanted to use this as a segue for a video from the U.S. men's team. They're getting ready for Paris. They played last night, played well. But I found this to be truly shocking, okay? Who all can spin a basketball on their finger in this room?
I mean, for longer than
Obviously,
like 2 seconds? No.
Yeah, for like, yeah. No, not for, so you can't like pump it. You can only,
no.
Okay. Well,
Wish I could.
No surprise there.
At all.
Alondra, can you spin a basketball?
No.
Okay.
I've never tried.
Okay, well, not to brag, me and Jake can. But the point is, I take that to be like kind of just like a fundamental thing that any kid that grows up playing basketball does,
Certainly,
right?
yeah.
You want to learn it. It's cool.
It's like our age group. Well, maybe even before, I feel like
Watch this video as the U.S. men's team is asked about whether or not they can spin a basketball on their finger.
You know how to spin a ball on your finger?
So I can do a lot of things with a basketball. A lot of things.
Try. Ain't really my thing. But you AD kid.
Drew said he didn't think you knew how.
Come on, Drew, you know me better than that.
You think all of your teammates for USAB can do it?
Yeah.
That is the one thing that I cannot do.
As a little kid, don't you just sit here and practice this all day?
I can give you like a half a second, maybe. 1,000, 2,000.
Hallie? At the point guard, know how to do it? Tyrese? Oh, that's Gen Z.
I heard you can bounce it off your knee.
Who said that to you?
That's good.
You said.
Should someone be able to know how to do this if they play basketball?
No. You don't have to, but.
Do you know how to spin a ball on your finger?
No, I cannot.
No?
I'll be the only guy on the team who can. Joel? That's sickening. I think we have more coordination than that.
Do you feel like you should be able to as a basketball player?
That's one of the most embarrassing things. Just me. You got me nervous even thinking about spinning the ball on my finger.
It's there.
Can't do it. I can't do it.
How is that possible? Steph Curry is a
LeBron couldn't
literal
either.
magician. LeBron couldn't. Steph Curry couldn't. Joel Embiid can't. Tyrese Halliburton can. I love who was it that said that's so Gen Z? I mean, because you actually said like for our age, yeah. I mean, we used to love that. I find it to be unfathomable
More
that Steph
shocking,
Curry cannot
LeBron
spin a
or
basketball.
Steph.
He's the best ball handler of our generation. He's probably maybe the best I've ever seen. What? Who's
I don't
better
think he's the
than
best
Steph?
ball. Oh, Kyrie's better ball handler.
White chocolate.
I think. Okay, no.
Get that man.
No, dude. Jason
Ball
Williams is
handle-
awesome.
whoa.
Yeah, ball handler?
Yes, I would take Steph Curry over Jason Williams 100%. Jason Williams had some and one style to him. I love Jay. Yeah, I love white chocolate, bro.
Listen to the NBA heads, past and current, and ask them that question. I guarantee you 9 out of 10 would say Jay Will.
I don't think so.
I'm telling you, I've seen podcasts where all of them they're like, "Who's the best ball handler?"
Then.
Okay.
Give me the tape then.
What?
And are they comparing him to Steph Curry?
What ball handler? I'm not talking about shot maker.
No, I'm talking about ball handler.
You're crazy. That's of all the takes you've had. That's the worst one you've had.
Yeah, he's on his own on this one. Avo in the chat was even like, yeah, even Kyrie's a better ball handler.
Yeah, Kyrie might be the best. Kyrie's probably the best
that
of this generation,
I've
actually.
seen, yeah.
But Steph's right behind him. Also, look.
This is wild.
I owned a full Jason Williams uniform and Sacramento Kings warms up. I love Jason Williams. I don't think he's as effective as a ball handler.
Like Jamal Crawford, all of them talk about it all the time.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to AccuTemp at Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. For all your AC, heat, and electrical needs, AccuTemp is your answer. You want service to the highest degree. You want to take control of your comfort zone today. Get a company that's, well, I mean, look, man, the ratings speak for themselves online. When you experience working with AccuTemp, you're going to be blown away, and you're going to be like, okay, T-Bob, I get it. I now know I'm never going anywhere else. Also, if you're in the market for a whole home generator during this storm season, you want to protect you and your family, have AccuTemp out to your home. They'll give you that free estimate to exactly how everything works. AccuTemp Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com.
Hey, go to the website today and schedule that appointment. And look, they're going to tell you exactly who's coming into your home, give you a profile of who it is, show you kind of their experience as well. I mean, they do everything first class. They do everything the right way. AccuTempBR.com is the website. Schedule the appointment today at AccuTempBR.com.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Value Ford has $10,000 off F-150. $10,000 off the new 2024 Ford F-150. And all new Value Ford vehicles come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. The crew at Value Ford is going to do right by you.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's at 9 a.m. here on Thursday, July 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 92. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll have a little big deal or no big deal, and Chef Michael Johnson stops by for our Munchies segment. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Look, man, we can disagree about the ball handler thing, but to act like it's crazy is absurd. Truly absurd. I mean, I'm reading a quote from AI right now calling Kyrie Irving the best ball handler of all time and Steph Curry right behind him. To act like Steph Curry is not a top 10 ball handler of all time, without a doubt, is insane.
He's top 10.
He's top 10,
sure.
just not Jason Williams.
I don't think it's that clear cut. I think it's Steph. I've seen lists that have one over the other. I've seen both examples while looking into this. I guess my overall point is I'm just shocked at the amount of blowback of no, that's just absurd. Like if you don't think that Steph Curry's handles are godlike, it's only because his shooting is so godlike that you've gotten lost in what he can do with the basket. Can't spin it.
Yeah, they're good.
Can't spin it. I bet you
Jason Williams can spin this.
I'm about to say.
You know what? That
I bet you Jay Willie spin on any finger you want. He can bounce it off his toes. He could probably drop it on his toes, keep spinning it, flick it back up, and catch it back on his finger. I agree with all that.
So we don't get farther down the road with this argument. Drew Holiday is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
ball handling?
As a human being. No. Just as a human being.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
In that video, things he can do with the basketball, the ultimate teammate,
so sweet.
Doesn't care
so
who gets the credit.
I know.
He's like the piece that wins these championships.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, when his wife, had a health issue, he just steps away from basketball. He's like family first.
Oh man, I forgot about that. That
and
was
just
scary.
comes back. I mean, I don't know, man. Great human being.
He's a man. We love Drew Holiday. I'm glad for all of the success that he has had in his post-New Orleans career. That said, I did get really angry at Drew a lot of times late game when it came to ball handling. He hit a streak with the Pelicans there where he just had a really bad habit of kind of bouncing it off his foot in the big moments.
But I am happy
for who? For Drew?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, he's literally like the most, even in that video, he's like way too nice. Being like, no, you don't have to be able to spin a basketball to be a good basketball player. Man, if you're in the NBA, you should be able to spin a basketball. Bottom line.
Yeah.
That's a firm line for me.
Is there like an equivalent in other sports, in baseball and football? Like if you play baseball, you got to be able to do this.
In football, it's not a guarantee because not enough people touch the ball enough, but I'm maybe just going to play center. I'm a firm believer you should be able to throw the football at an angle and bounce it back up to yourself.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
It's the best football trick.
Easton Stick can like dribble the basketball and go between his legs. I mean, there's some that are more talented than others, but you should, at minimum, throw it at an angle.
Yeah, throw it at an angle, pop it right back up. In baseball, I feel like people do some cool bat tricks, but I don't know that I feel that it's a like as that it should be as much of a requirement as spinning the basketball.
I'm trying to think, and I can't think of one.
I can't think of one in baseball either, but
they sometimes bounce the bat off 100 plays to catch it. But I mean,
like when they bounce the bat off their foot, or they do or I used to love to do the thing where you're swinging and you flip the bat in the air and then you catch the handle and finish the swing. That always looked really cool. So maybe that, but that's not as ubiquitous as just like spinning a basketball or throwing the football against the ground.
But again, like we could go out. Well, yeah, maybe people are here. We could go out to the building and we could be like, "Hey, here's a basketball. Spin it on your finger," and I bet half of them could.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And Steph Curry can.
And Steph Curry and LeBron
can. Unbelievable. And LeBron, yeah. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, like in soccer, Joey, good point. Like in soccer, like you should be able to juggle. Every professional soccer player can juggle a soccer ball and do tricks with it.
Yeah, well, that's impossible. That is an actual thing that would be impossible to get good at soccer without being able to do. Yeah. So a lot of people in chat saying Skip to my Lou, Ray for Alston. And look, I love Skip. Don't get me wrong. Like we said, there's a difference though in being like the best trick and one ball handler and doing it on an NBA court. And what separates Jason Williams, Steph, Kyrie, all those guys is the ability to do it on an NBA court where the longest and best defenders in the entire world are trying to get after you. Like Professor can go and work a playground like nobody's business. And I like the Professor. Again, another guy that we grade higher because of his whiteness.
Whoa.
You like I tried to sneak that in?
You are not going to throw out there just because of Jason Williams' skin colors while we're having this argument.
I think it gives him a
Did
slight
you hear
bump.
me talk about John Stockton or Jeff Hornacek or
because they can't be in the conversation.
Or Scott Skiles?
No,
it's not a part of this conversation
because they can't be. They weren't great ball handlers. I mean, they're.
I mean, you said
players.
John Stockton wasn't a great ball handler.
Well, he was, but he wasn't flashy. Obviously, he was a great ball handler. He might be the most.
Names up. We brought up Jason Williams.
Yeah,
because he had one elite skill. Game, catch the pass.
Rafe LaFale.
Yeah,
get out
Kansas.
of here. Let's get to some big deal or no big deal.
Big deal. Ain't no big deal.
Big deal. No big deal. Big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
No big deal.
Big deal or no big deal? Kawhi Leonard decided, a couple practices. He's kind of good for a little bit. Not going to play for the U.S. men's team.
Drink some milk. Get more mentally tough.
I don't know what it is.
Unless your body's failing you and you literally can't. you're never going to feel perfect. The first day that you start a professional sport is like the last day that you feel healthy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know his injuries. I don't know his pain level. I don't know. I just know he misses far too much time.
It's just so crazy how he literally, at a time when Kevin Durant's like leaving to join the Warriors and everything, he literally did the hard thing. He did the tough guy team. He went to a small market team. He won an NBA Finals. And then he was like, all right, I'm good. And it's crazy that people just keep paying him. Why would you pay him over Paul George?
I wouldn't pay either one of them, but I'd certainly pay for the guy that's on the court.
You saw Kawhi in the strip club after he left the U.S. team, though?
You told me about it. I haven't seen it.
I would love to be Kawhi Leonard in the strip club.
He's so awkward that I just can't imagine him. Like, I saw the video, but like, I'm a fun guy. Like, and his laugh is so weird too.
You have a great body. Thanks, Kawhi. Give me some of that new contract money.
Yeah, I don't know.
Clap.
I feel like the Clippers give out more free money than any other organization in professional sports.
And then they told Paul George, we'll give you 2 years, $60 million, which is crazy.
That's like what Tobias Harris got from the Pistons.
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
Well, and George played in 74 of the 82 regular season games.
I understand why Paul George is kind of pissed about the whole situation.
Like Kawhi doesn't even play, and they wouldn't even give him the same amount of money.
All right. No big deal because Kawhi doesn't play anyway. My final answer.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I think he's lame for it, but I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah. There's enough good players on that team. They should take home gold anyway. All right, who's next?
I missed this one, but I want to throw it out to y'all because I'm curious, staying in the NBA. Big deal or no big deal, Klay Thompson joining the Dallas Mavericks?
I think I would just say the entire Mavericks offseason has been a big deal. I think that's huge. Obviously, that's a team that just is coming off of a finals run. Now, it is one of those finals run that it's like, okay, you had so much momentum and you got hot at the right time. How replicable will it be?
The 3 seed going in?
I thought they were like a 5 seed, so I could be wrong.
I don't know. They were fit. Now you might be right because I think they won 50 regular season games. The Pelicans won 49.
Yeah,
so you're probably right.
So it's like, how replicable, but I really credit the Mavericks for making some very shrewd moves. So the Klay thing's a big splash one. That's great. Adding Najee Marshall, though.
That feels big.
Grinder, 3-and-D, great coming off the bench for a team looking to add the final pieces. Najee feels like a final piece potentially. And then who else did they add? I feel like there's one other addition that I'm missing that I liked. Either way, I'd say big deal because I think the Mavericks are in a Western Conference that is in a nuclear arms race at this point. I think they got better this offseason.
I would say big deal because that's what they needed to add was shooting. Because outside of Luka and Kyrie, like Derrick Jones Jr. was good. He was streaky. Same thing with P.J. Washington.
P.J. Washington streaky.
But you had your two bigs with Lively and those guys, but they needed to add shooting, and they did that with Marshall and Klay Thompson.
Yeah, big deal. I think it's a good addition to the Mavs, and the West is going to be a really tough conference.
You saw Klay Thompson's dad, how bummed he was he wouldn't go to the Lakers?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, his dad was... I didn't realize his dad was part of the Showtime Lakers back then.
Yeah.
And so, he was like all hyped. He was like begging him to go, and then he just said, nah, Dad, sorry, dude.
Do you know who the Warriors replaced him with? Former Pelican.
Peja Stojakovic?
That would be awesome. Speaking of Kings.
Who?
Buddy Hield.
Oh, that's right. Shout out Buddy Hield. I guess. I don't know.
Number 6 overall to the Pelicans?
I'm going to say Buddy Hield is not a big deal. Even though he's good. He's a good NBA player. He's made himself good, but not that move, not quite as a big deal.
All right, big deal or no big deal? Michael Kopech, right-handed pitcher for the White Sox, threw the first immaculate inning since 1923 for the White Sox.
Wait, since 1923?
Do you have the name for who did
Sloppy
it?
Thurston.
What? Sloppy Thurston.
Sloppy Thurston was the last guy.
Sloppy Thurston.
He's the last guy to pitch an immaculate inning since 1923.
What? Okay, when you hear like Sloppy Thurston can only either be like a greasy northeastern, kind of sleazeball or somebody that's country with a K.
Sloppy Thurston is from Fremont, Nebraska. and he was a screwball pitcher.
Yeah.
That old sloppy
Thurston Bowie down there in the cornfield.
Like
Love that old
jump
screwball
pitcher,
ball.
too.
So I
They
didn't
had
realize
some crazy names back in the day. Like there's some crazy names for baseball players. Like Rube Waddell is a weird name. I don't know. There's crazy.
A couple sleepies.
There's some sleepies in there.
The
Sloppy Thurston's got to be top tier.
He's either a lone shark or a hillbilly.
Yeah.
I saw he threw an immaculate inning, but I had no idea it was that rare. I thought it was something that happened probably like once every couple of years in the MLB. I would say that's a massive deal. Not happening in 100 years is insane.
Sox. I don't know what it was for the last time in the MLB.
Yeah. That was just the White Sox.
Okay.
Well, let's see what it was in
okay.
the MLB.
Okay, y'all
I'm
are
sure more
freaking me
common.
out because I was like, what? How's that possible?
Gotcha.
That's
No,
never
it's
been
happened,
done.
I think, a little over 100 times, like in the history of the Major League.
It's the lone. It's a massive deal because the White Sox are god awful, and it's the lone highlight of the season.
All right, so okay, I don't know. It's the most recent one is giving me is the Michael Kopech one, but the first one was thrown by John Clarkson of the Boston Beaneaters against the Philadelphia Quakers on June 4th of 1889.
Damn.
Only the 115th immaculate inning in baseball or MLB history.
Go Beaneaters.
Yeah.
Big deal. Taylor, what you got?
Big deal or no big deal? After not playing for almost 2 years, look, Ja Morant been flashing that piece all over Instagram Lives.
What?
He comes back. He gets injured. He's finally been cleared for full contact. He's good to go for the NBA. Big deal or no big deal?
Big deal because it's yet another West team that is now super relevant and a threat to what is already just an incredibly crowded Western Conference playoff picture. So, yeah, big deal. Ja Morant's a bit of a Pelican killer. I mean, in his 2 games back or whatever it was.
2 games a year he plays.
All he did
Pelicans.
was dominate New Orleans.
Did he drop like 30 in both games?
Yes, he freaking was putting up highlights, just slamming you into submission. Yeah. Me and all my homies hate Ja Morant. It's like a begrudging hate. But, yeah, big deal if you're a Pelicans fan.
Yep. Big deal.
Yeah. I don't know why things like that in sports happen, but they always do. Like, this guy against this one team. Not that he's not good against others, but it's like this one team, though,
Just got their number.
chance.
All right, big deal, no big deal in the books. Win. Oh,
I have one more.
Okay.
Big deal or no big deal. Isaiah Thomas was on a podcast, I believe, and he was talking about
Ballin'?
What?
Ballin'?
No. We wasn't talking about that. About, Las Vegas potentially getting a franchise into the NBA because baseball, football, hockey, all there now. And Seattle getting the Supersonics back as an expansion as well.
Go to 30 teams?
So go to 30 teams. Those 2 teams stay in the West. New Orleans and Memphis move to the East. Big deal or no big deal?
Please, God, let this happen.
That's a huge deal.
Please,
New Orleans
God,
would
let
have
this
been
happen.
the 3 seed in the East last year with their record.
Knowing how the world works, though, the Pelicans will get to the East, and then the East will suddenly become incredible. Like the East will be the better conference for the next 20 years. Yeah, please. I would love that. I would love to have the Sonics back, and I know Seattle would as well. They deserve that. And I would love to be in the East.
It'd make a lot more sense to be in the East.
Yes. I don't care if it's the easier road. I don't give a damn. Put me in the East, baby.
You wouldn't have any, I guess you wouldn't have any close road trips. Memphis would be your closest because Houston and Dallas would still stay in the West. It feels like Louisiana's kind of the line. I know you don't know maps very well, but that would kind of be the line to separate the East and the West.
I mean, apparently we're in the Midwest, correct?
Us?
Aren't all the states that we consider the Midwest just above us?
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Some are east. Ohio's east.
How come we
of
don't
us.
call Louisiana Southern Midwest? We're pretty hospitable.
Yeah, because isn't Missouri the Midwest?
And large swaths of Louisiana love the Bible. You know?
I mean, most of Louisiana does.
Yeah.
It's just different religions.
Yeah.
Baptists and Catholics, but they all kind of love the Bible.
Yeah.
True. I like corn.
Most of America does.
I don't think Louisiana is not the Southeast either. I think it's the South.
We're the South Midwest.
It's the South.
It's
We're
just
the South Midwest.
South Midwest.
Yeah.
Midwest is a state of mind. It's not even like a geographical.
Yeah.
It's a state of mind.
Feels like that.
I agree with that. Even though it makes sense what Jake said. It's like westward expansion for a while that would have been the Midwest,
Yeah.
right? And then we just got lazy. We're like, let's just make these other states huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
so
more or less
lazy.
we got, we'll just make it bigger and bigger. Like, I don't feel like
hey,
he's lying.
Montana, we're going to give you a lot. Now, there's not going to be a lot there, but we're going to give you a lot of land.
All right. When we get back, Munchies, Chef Michael Johnson. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888, man. You need somebody who's going to stand up to big insurance companies, get you what you deserve. Somebody's going to fight for you. That's Gordon McKernan, Injury Attorneys. You go to getgordon.com, see all the cases they cover, see past results of satisfied clients. You can fill out a consult right there. They'll get in touch with you immediately. And never forget to follow Gordon on social media at GetGordon, where you get some great content with your favorite athletes, members of the G team. As it's no coincidence, that LSU's having so much success in their various athletic endeavors. And Gordon is supporting these athletes and getting them what they deserve. Just like go get you what you deserve. Get Gordon, get it done.
Go to the website, T-Bob gave you getgordon.com, where you can do it all. You can ask a question, get a consultation set up on the website. He mentioned at GetGordon's always going to be the handle to see what they're doing in the community. And also, if you want to give them a call, your area code in Louisiana, follow by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at GuaranteeMedia.com. Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. It's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's. Jay Johnson tweeted a tiger emoji when I was on the air on Wednesday, and we didn't find out who it was. So maybe we will for Thursday's show. Luke Johnson talking about the Saints as well. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Also on WBTR Channel 19, if you're looking for something to watch in the morning, welcome back here at OTB. It is time for some Munchies with our guy, Chef Michael Johnson. Michael, what's up, Chef? How you doing today?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
Doing great, man. Doing great. You'll be very pleased to hear, Chef. I bought myself a burner and a big, cast iron pot last week.
Yeah.
Got myself a big old paddle, and I made my first ever pastelaia, and it went
that's awesome, man.
great.
That's awesome.
I was very pleased. So my question for you is, what are some other good meal ideas for that setup so that I can take advantage of my purchase?
I mean, I use my cast iron pot for all kinds of stuff. So, like I make gumbo in my cast iron pot, and I'll cook it slow, like over the coals. I kind of prefer a large camp stove because you can do, like you can put a pork butt in that and put it and put it on a fire and then throw coals on top of it and cook that pork butt slow and low and do pulled pork or do like that Cochinita's Peeble. Yeah, if you got a nice heavy lid on it.
Yeah, I do.
Oh man, like there's all kinds of stuff. You can kind of treat it like it's like when you dig a hole and put like a pit and put a pig in it.
Yes.
You can kind of treat it like that. Put a pork butt in there with a little liquid and mirepoix and like stuff that tastes good, and put the lid on it. And then put coal over the top as well as underneath. Like on the campfire, and it's you're basically creating an oven, and man, you leave that on there for several hours, and you got a pulled pork from hell.
God, sounds great, dude. Sounds amazing. Hashtag Munchies. Who's your favorite celebrity chef?
Celebrity chef.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of an oxymoron, man. I don't know.
Would Jacques Pepin not count as a celebrity chef?
Pepin, but I think he's just kind of. I mean, I guess he is a celebrity chef. He's famous, but I don't perceive him as like being that celebrity that's in chase of it. You know what I mean? I think that he's just a famous chef and people recognize that. I don't know. For some reason, I have this, like celebrity as somebody who's, constantly on TV and has
like Bobby Flay.
Yeah, like a Bobby Flay or what's his name, Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, and gosh, I mean, it's all show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bobby Flay, neither one of those guys is that way in real life. You know what I mean? It's all show, and so. I don't know. Bobby Flay's a super talented chef, but there's this one moment that sticks out in my mind when he was on not Chopped, but it was the old when he competed against the Japanese. Or
Iron Chef.
There you
best.
go. Yes,
loved Iron Chef.
And he beat the chef and jumped up on his cutting board, and was like very flagrant about it.
Yeah.
And he put his feet on the cutting board, and the Japanese chef criticized him for it and said, that's not something anybody would ever do in Japan because the cutting board is sacred, because that's where we put our food and that's the food that we ingest in our body, and no Japanese chef would ever do that. And,
it's very funny. I feel like that's all of American culture and Japanese culture, like wrapped up into that one interaction.
So, I really like that Japanese chef. I don't know if you would consider him a celebrity or not, but
he was the one with the French background. Why am I blanking on his name? He was the Iron Chef Beast. I used to be a big fan of him as well.
I can't remember any of their names. It was so long ago, but all three of those chefs really were kind of celebrity to me, I guess, but talented beyond comprehension. Man, those guys were just incredible. And there was one episode that one of those guys took Kobe beef tenderloin or Kobe beef cubes or something, I know it was Kobe, and rolled it in like cocoa powder, and cocoa powder is bitter as hell. But what he was explaining is that the sweetness of the fat plays into the bitterness of the cocoa powder, and he did these like beef tips that I mean, just talking about it, I'm salivating because I tried it myself and ended up doing this coffee rub with cocoa powder in it, and it's not sweet cocoa powder; it's like real cocoa powder that's bitter, and that coffee rub tenderloin that me and my buddy did in Kansas City sold like wildfire, man. I mean, people it was at a baseball stadium, and was tough to keep up with. That's how good it turned out.
That sounds amazing, dude. I'm so freaking
Chef, how do we feel about this? I went to a restaurant last weekend. It was just me, my wife, and our 5 children, and we got hit with a large party, included gratuity. Now, 2 of our children ordered off the kids menu, and one is, she's one, so she obviously didn't order anything. How do we feel about that?
So, Jake, it's ironic that I saw your post and I kind of smirked at it because I took my kids to Memphis over the weekend and had that happen twice to me with 4 or 3 people. They auto-granted us for 3 or 4 people. One time my son stayed at the hotel room, and once it was just 4 of us, and they auto-granted us. And here's the thing: sometimes that's a server. To me, there's a couple of things that will drive that. One, if it's truly a large table of 6 or better, it's hard to argue. But when you get down to like 5 or 4, and especially 3, you're starting to look at the server like, do I look like a cheapskate, or are they trying to sneak me?
Yeah.
And
because what if the service sucked?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm mixed. I love and support the restaurant business.
For sure.
But I've also been in the restaurant business to know that there are some shady front of housers out there, that they think, that I'm owed this money. And it really, you tip based off, and not only that, like if you're going to auto-grat the restaurant, if it's just a restaurant policy and that's the way that they've decided to go, there needs to be signage and it needs to be announced. Like any of the professional places in Seattle and the big cities, they don't tip. You don't tip anymore. They just put it into include it into the price for the. I'm sorry, guys, it's getting loud here.
No, you're good.
They include it into the price of the meal, and you don't tip. It's just 20% on top, but they also pay everybody equal.
Yeah.
Instead of having wait staff that make $3.25 an hour and plus tips, and we've all heard, I only make $3.25 an hour, when actually they're making like $50 an hour with tips. It levels the playing field to where everybody's making the same kind of dollar wage per hour, and they split the tips evenly amongst the crew. And I think it just kind of removes the tension between the front and the back of the house, and it just kind of, I don't know, that tension has always been a problem in any restaurant that's ever been between the people.
I've never really considered that. You got to feel a bit pissed if you're out there on the line cooking and your delicious food is what led to this massive tip. Everybody plays a role, obviously, right?
Yeah,
but
and the servers come back, well, it's my personality that made the tip. And then the food, and then the chefs are like, well, you're serving our food, and so there's definitely a piece there that becomes competitive, and it rubs, buddy. It'll drive a steak right down through the middle of a staff if you don't know what you're doing, or if you allow it to build too much as a manager. So, yeah.
Hashtag Munchies. Do you subscribe to the idea that we should not be using plastic cutting boards because of microplastics getting into food?
There's an argument there for sure. But the thing is that consuming, wood or bamboo, like bamboo, I do like bamboo. I like renewable sources. We have some rubber cutting boards because they last longer and they're easier on the knives, but still, it's a tough question, man. Plastics are a hot topic, and we do have some plastic cutting boards in the kitchen. We will resurface them ourselves, but to that point, I think it's a greater concern of single-use plastics than it is a cutting board per se, because single-use plastics are the things that are getting thrown in the dumpster, getting thrown in the street. The cutting boards are typically cutting boards are going to be recycled. Those single-use plastics like soda bottles and water bottles and such like that, I think those are the greater concern. Plastic bags and stuff like that, they will just get thrown out of a car or easier blown about or moved about or dismissed. I don't know that cutting boards are that big of a hot topic because they last for multiple uses so much longer. But to that argument, they are plastic and I don't know. We have some composite wood cutting boards here that I really love that are made of a resin and wood kind of blended together. And those are the cutting boards that I really love. They last a long time. and they're easier on the knife blades as well. And those are my preferred cutting boards that I use.
How are you supposed to clean a wooden cutting board? I mean, I just do soap and water. Is there anything more but sometimes
Soap
I
and
feel
water.
like I'm not
Yeah.
like, okay.
So a real wood cutting board, you have to watch what you're buying because you want the end grain to be the cutting surface. It should be the end of the board, not the side of the board. Because if you have, if you have a cutting board that has the grain going with the, like lengthwise,
yeah,
when your knife cuts down in there and it mars it can actually swell shut with a cavity in there. And if there's bacteria in it, like if you're washing it with hot water and soap, that wood swells, and that can actually capture the bacteria in there rather than self-healing. So the end cut of a board is self-healing, and when like if you cut down through it, all those fibers are giving way, and like if it gets wet, they swell and will actually push the bacteria out versus allowing it to be captured in. So you definitely don't just want to use any old wood cutting board. That's for sure.
Damn.
I know that.
Do you oil it up? Chat's saying oil it up afterwards. I do that with cast iron. I've never done that with my cutting board.
Beeswax is really good. Yeah, you heat your cutting board up
After you mind your own.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Jeez. There's like Boo's Cutting Blocks makes a conditioner. I think it has like I don't remember what all the fats that are in it, but it's a mixture of beeswax and some kind of fat that softens and keeps the wood soft and prevents it from drying out and cracking, and it also repels liquids from it. So you want to melt it down. Huh. If it's not liquid, you use your beeswax and put it on a hot cutting board. Like I'll throw my cutting board in the oven for a very short amount of time, maybe a minute or so, just so the surface gets warm. Then you take your beeswax and brush it on. You got to know what you're doing with beeswax. So I don't suggest everybody go trying that, but there is a liquid. It's called Boo's Block Conditioner that's really good. If you don't have that, just olive oil. Like some kind of fat that will soak into your wood that will help prevent water from absorbing in, because that water will swell and it will split the seams of your cutting board if you're not paying attention.
It's fun. I always associate oil with making wood hard, but life's full of little twists and turns, and sometimes things move in unexpected directions. By the way, the Iron Chef with the highest, and he is of the French cuisine, so this might be who I'm thinking about. But the Iron Chef with the highest win percentage is Sakai Hiroyuki, and he went 70-15. 70 dubs, only 15 losses, 82% win percentage.
Golly, that's crazy, huh?
Pretty incredible. Hashtag Munchies. Best way to cook oyster mushrooms. My cousin grows summer whites. What are oyster mushrooms?
I like to sweat them and like saute them with garlic and shallots, and then flambe with a little bit of cognac. Oyster mushrooms. They literally get the term because they kind of grow. It looks like an ear almost, or an oyster. Like the inside of an oyster, not the shell, but the meat. Like they have these kind of like almost like a flower. It's kind of it. They're I don't know. They're delicious. They're soft. They're kind of delicate though. So and make sure you want to brush them off. So you don't want to wash mushrooms off with too much water because they'll absorb that water. It will impede the cooking process. But taking like a little pastry brush or something and knocking all the solids off and making sure that you're getting, especially if they're wild harvested, which oyster mushrooms typically are not. But if you find some and they're wild, you want to make sure you brush all that dirt and debris off.
Last one, Chef. Hashtag Munchies. Have you ever considered representing LSU on Beat Bobby Flay TV show? And if you did, what would be your signature dish?
Yeah, I'm people kind of criticize me for this because I'm not a real competitive chef. Like my competition is with myself from yesterday. I love looking at other chefs and how they do things. But I've never been a competitive chef per se. I've always kind of been a people's chef. I look at myself as a servant of sorts. It's kind of a life of servitude of cooking for people and trying to make them happy, if you will.
True.
So it's never really been anything that motivated me to go into competition. I just have I mean, I have a competitive side to me. Don't get me wrong, but being a chef is my career, and I feel like there's more. Like there's more things to accomplish. I guess the competition is what I've become versus what I do on a day-to-day basis. Because there's lots of people who can have a very accomplished moment right there, and then flop on their face the next day. And to me, like I don't want to be the best chef. I just want to be a good chef or a great chef. And that means being the same person day after day after day and being consistent. And that's, I think, more difficult than being a competitor.
Yeah, you can keep your painted red lips, your ladies of the night, because that is not our chef, Michael Johnson, executive chef for LSU Athletics. Chef, thank you so much, man.
All right, take care, guys.
You the man, dog.
Yep.
Love you, boo. Think he already hung up? Didn't get it back? Or do you think he chose not to say I love you back?
I think he chose not to.
I'm sorry if I missed your questions today, guys. I was kind of all over the place during Munchies today. You got her says I got some liquid garlic at Home Goods yesterday. What should I do with it? Drink it. Just chug it. Chug an entire bottle of liquid garlic. Figure out if you're a vampire or not. All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I've been drinking blood this whole time, so I figured I was, but the garlic didn't mess with me. Crazy. K to Z window coverage, KTOZblinds.com. KTOZblinds.com is the website. You need window coverings that wow, you want K to Z. When I talk about taking your home to the next level, kind of maximizing its potential, that's what K to Z can do for you. But it's from a couple of different areas. It's not just aesthetic. It's not just functional. It's both, and that's why it's so great. So, like, let's say you're a shift worker. You need to be able to sleep during the day. Go get you some honeycomb shades. Not only can a room go from well lit to blackout immediately, but it's also got sound dampening quality. Sounds like it may be great for like a kid's room or something. Maybe it's your master bedroom anyway. Get a drop down. So, some drop down covers for the outdoor kitchen. I know Solu off of Perkins just did this, and all of a sudden their outside's way more comfortable during the heat of summer. The bottom line is take your home to the next level with K to Z, KTOZblinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR, the latest LSU baseball transfer portal news, and Matt Borman from the Tiger Athletic Foundation talking a little LSU NIL. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There's always that one person that will always have your heart. You never see it coming 'cause you're blinded from the start. Know that you're that one for me. It's clear for everyone.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
It's the only way we know how to rock. I don't know about y'all, but I know about.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB coming into you. Then we'll come back with some. What are we going to come back with? Oh, Ask the Bench. Duh. God, I got to be honest, guys. Brain is moving slow today. I don't know what's up with it, man. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Ask the Bench. Are you a big fan of lesbian space witches? I'm guessing this is a Star Wars Acolyte question. I'm not caught up on Acolyte. To be fair, I've never really considered how I feel about lesbian space witches, so I'll have to report back when I'm done. Taylor, give me a quick Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL Story of the Day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
Yeah, so it debuted on Netflix yesterday, so of course I've already watched multiple episodes.
Oh, have you?
Receiver came out, and it is really good. I wasn't sure how the dynamic was going to go with George Kittle because they wanted to throw one tight end in there. It was excellent. Now, the first episode kind of slanted towards the 49ers because him and Deebo Samuel are both on this show. I thought the real winner, at least from the first two episodes, was actually Devontae Adams, just because we kind of know the personalities of the other guys. Like,
yeah,
we know Jefferson and Kittle. They're
That's
flashy.
true.
They're funny. Devontae Adams always been kind of a quieter guy. Really had a lot of personality on the show. I've liked it so far. Him and Max Crosby are like best friends.
Matt Crosby seems like somebody who has a lot of personality.
They have showed up apparently on game day multiple times last year wearing the exact same thing without telling each other. They made a little joke about that on the show. Really good so far.
Are they like calling Derek Carr because that's their boy?
They did not call Derek Carr. Derek Carr has not been mentioned yet. We're early. They're into Jefferson's injury from last year. They kind of recapped the whole season. So it's good. Completely different perspective than it was in QB.
All right. I think I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of QB back in the day, and I was like, that's good. That's enough. I'll see if this. I feel like I have 7,000 teams I'm supposed to watch, or 7,000 things.
They really wanted to highlight the Niners' big win over the Cowboys last year. So of course I appreciated that. But outside of that, the show was really good.
When we get back, Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Life as here at Tilted Blooming Lines, Cat Citrus Sweet.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. You need a new vehicle. All-Star's your answer, guys. Go check them out off of Airline of Goodwood today. It's very conveniently located, and you'll be blown away by everything they have there on site. The sales staff is so good. They can help you out with whatever questions you have. You're looking for new, used, whatever. And then the service center, of course, the body shop where you get free professional estimates. Excellent lines of communication throughout the process so that no big decisions are made without you staying fully abreast of said situation. They're the best. They're your one-stop vehicle shop. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go to the website today to find your next vehicle. And we tell you every single day because it is factual. No matter what you're looking for, no matter what your lifestyle calls for, they've got you covered. With the midsize SUVs, full-size SUV, van, trucks, hybrids, sedans, like whatever it is, they got you covered. Go check out To buy new, to lease, or to rent today, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air during Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, The Hunt Palmer Show, and after further review with Matt Moscone.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscone. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Farming is a way of life for us. It's not something we get up in the morning and dread going do. It's just something we go to bed at night looking forward to getting up to go do. John Deere equipment is what we as farmers strive to have. So it's in your blood, it's in your veins. It's just a part of who you are. Green is what we want to be in. The other tractors were acquired to patch it up to get to where you want to be. Where we want to be is in John Deere. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin.
Charles Sandigrove join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch. From the original walk-ons, Burbank at Nicholson, professional sports handicapper Randy McKay is with us, as well as Dwayne Colucci from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. A little Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Crush Life. Visit our Blue Moon Lights Coast Street. Do remind you about Rejuve Me Medical. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Your age-defying clinic. You want to feel better, younger, faster, stronger, fight the effects of untreated aging with a bunch of different options? Well, that's Rejuve Me. If you're in Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, Shreveport, Munroe, they got your back, man. And it all starts with a free consultation, or you get your labs drawn, and your body is the guide to tell them where it's strong, where it's weak, and what they can do for you in order to get you where you want to be. Rejuve Me Medical. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Ask the Bench. Would you pay for tennis lessons? Yeah, absolutely. Ask the Bench. Favorite alternate NFL uniform? The Packers brown ones. The Packers sepia tone ones.
No, those are terrible. Like Seahawks,
throwback?
Eagles, Patriots, Buccaneers, like all those teams kind of come to mind.
Ask the
Dolphins.
Bench.
Dolphins is the answer.
Yeah, Dolphins are great.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
I think
Dan Marino era uniforms. Yeah.
As I mentioned, do you prefer to play back or at the net in doubles? I think back's more fun, but generally my height has been an advantage, and certainly at the net sometimes. Ask the bench, worst amusement park ride you've ever been on?
I don't know.
I have a soft spot for this ride called the Ninja from Six Flags Atlanta, but it was like an old wooden roller coaster that would just obliterate your neck. Like you were guaranteed, even as a child, you would have neck soreness. A time and age when it's impossible to get it. But I still kind of liked it.
The E.T. ride.
Oh, E.T. ride's fun.
It sucks.
I will say the E.T. line cooler than the actual ride when you're walking through
looks
all the trees and stuff.
School project.
It's just really old,
Yeah,
and I think
could
Steven
update
Spielberg said something though, like you're not taking this out, or like it's like he helped design it or whatever. So they just haven't updated it.
Ask the bench, what's a place in Louisiana you drive to right now to get something to eat?
I don't know.
I'm always thinking about Lee's chopped ham sandwich.
Place in Louisiana, Strawn's in Shreveport.
Yeah, Strawn's great.
I go get a cheeseburger with fries and then throw a pancake on the side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Go full fat boy.
Ask the bench, jet ski or ATV?
Jet ski all day.
ATV.
Gosh, that's a great question. They both are a lot of fun.
Jet ski me.
ATV by a little bit.
ATV by a lot for me. I don't know if
And
I'm just a water jet ski fan.
Look, I'm a redneck, four-wheeler.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
This is ATV.
What are we doing here?
Ask the bench. Tay-Tay's segment wasn't dark and depressing today. Should we brace for tomorrow? Yeah, he's gonna pay us back
if
twofold
something
tomorrow.
sad happens. If not, I already have it ready, and it is not sad.
Did we get Bailey's cool phrase today? She's not in today. She'll be in tomorrow. We'll have to force it out of her. I think we forgot to yesterday. All right. That'll do it for today's show. Thank you all so much, guys. We love you. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in studio tomorrow, and then we'll be hitting the road, joining you live from Dallas next week. I'll try not to, I don't know. I don't have a good Dallas joke. Y'all have a great day. Love you. See you tomorrow.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624